in the twilight zone.
About time some of you got acquainted with the real hard truth.
If you don't connect the dots, it's just a mass of what's all this about.
You are listening to the Secret Teachings Radio. I'm your host, Ryan Gable. Thank you so much for tuning into this special Friday night edition of the show. Normally the show is Monday night, but we have a special Friday edition for you. It is June 26th, 2026. And tonight it is Beyond Stupid, a gay original. That is Beyond Belief, a guy original. We've done a spoof of that if you don't know what the show promo is tonight. We were joking about it earlier this week because we did a Monday live show on Mark Richards. The more I read about Mark Richards, the more it sounded like I should have actually done this. I was going to make an A-team introduction. Sent to prison for a crime he definitely committed. He befriended the Raptors. Anyway, Mark Richards, that show is in the archive. It was a great 3-hour presentation. We learned a lot about Mark Richards. We also learned that the raptor species, these aliens, I'm guessing that's what they are, unless they're the Toronto Raptor basketball team. The Raptors like really nice things. They like Gucci bags and they like very expensive cars. It's very interesting because that apparently is also what Mark Richards liked so much that he murdered a man for. Tonight we are joined by the gentlemen from Hidden in Plain Sight, Perry and Brandon. They're with us. I learned a lot about Mark Richards this week. What do you guys think about an A-team introduction? He was sent to prison for a crime he definitely committed.
Yes, well, I think you're mistaken because Mark Richards has very clearly stated he did not commit that crime because he was not on planet Earth at the time it occurred.
I heard a raptor just stabbed a kid at a track meet and he's going to jail for life now.
It was crazy.
It was crazy. He stabbed him with his claw. And
he
said,
was also a basketball player, right?
Yeah.
He pushed me. He said he pushed me.
The little tidbit I love most about the Raptors, I think this was an interview with Carrie Cassidy and Mark Richards' fat wife, is that they love acting, like they love fanciful things, like you said, the Gucci purse and stuff. But there was some time ago, like 2010 maybe, where they were doing some sort of Jurassic Park live show. And they had like animatronic raptors, but they said those were real raptors. They were real raptors going town to town doing, show tunes and stuff. And they're in the credits of Jurassic Park. The Raptors, I think they produced it.
These weren't like Disney Imagineers making these robotic animatronics. These were real raptors.
No.
You need the real thing. Who wants to settle? Who wants to settle for a robot? The idiots that go to Disneyland have a very keen eye. You see, the modern American has a very keen eye for detail.
For
a lot of people don't understand this. The modern American is actually a very intelligent being that can really tell what's happening.
We're paleontologists. They also love, and I can't find where this originates, but I know the Raptors love chocolate. It's somewhere. I would highly encourage you if you haven't.
Chocolate.
Yeah, like not basic Ghirardelli.
They call it cacao.
Yes, but you should go through all of the interviews Carrie Cassidy has done with Mark Richards because I think that is some of the finest like space weirdo content available. Because he's obviously in prison, so she has to go to a prison to interview him. It's incredible.
Well, there's just a recurring bit with this little. I'm convinced the guards were making her do this as like because she was probably fucking annoying.
Yeah.
But they would always give her a little pencil to have to take her notes with for every interview. And she bitched about it every time she did an interview. She made to point out that they once again gave her this bullshit little pencil, and she was so mad about it.
She said it was, these interviews occurred over a period of like 13 to 15 years, and just every single part she bitches about this tiny fucking pencil.
Yeah, it rules.
I clicked on all those interviews on her website. She had a bunch of them, and for people that haven't seen them, she's in her car, so she goes to see him. She takes some notes, maybe she has to remember some things because in the first one she says she can't take notes. Then she goes to her car and she uses the word apparently a lot. Apparently the Raptors, apparently this happened. I've noticed that that's something that a lot of these people do. Apparently.
Yes, the weasel words.
Yes.
Giving themselves an out. She also, on one of the trips to go visit Mark Richards, that's when she had a stroke, or as she says it, the scalar weapons got her. But like,
right.
When she was driving to Northern California is when her face got all fucked up.
The goy beamed her.
Yeah.
Well, let me bring a few things up. Since the last time you guys were here, we've had a lot of stuff happen, right? We've had David unfortunately pass away.
What?
You're telling me?
Hold on. Hold the phone.
Are you guys just learning about this?
Yes.
Yeah, David.
My God. Well, cancel the show.
What are we going to do?
I've got to grieve.
Well, actually, he's at a secret base in Greenland with Charlie
Yes.
Kirk.
Yeah, he's in Valhalla.
doing science.
Emery Smith has updated his sex liquids. Laura
Oh.
Eisenhower said that she was invited to go to Mars, but she chose not to, or something like that.
Well, who likes to travel these days?
Yeah.
It's a pain.
TSA is a pain.
Mars is a dry planet, so she wasn't able to.
Oh, well, count me out.
Sarah Adams took a shit in the tub. I wrote
Boy,
that
did she.
down.
Yeah.
Michael Sala's being sued. Corey Good's still in bankruptcy. So there's a lot of great things happening.
Tons has occurred since we last spoke. Yeah, we're now in a blood feud with Sarah Adams. Michael Sala, as you noted, is getting sued by, I think, Amy Eskridge's like former business partner or something like that. It's and Corey's case has again been extended. It's never going to end.
We should sue one of these people for like emotional distress for how stupid they are. I think we could take that to
I'll
court.
jump in on that.
Class action.
I want someone to be held legally liable for being this retarded.
I think Carrie is the best target for this.
But I think the stroke fried her noggin. I think like I think we undersell that she had a stroke. Like I think her mind's broken.
Well, she's become very mean.
That's what I mean. Because that's like a common symptom of strokes. Like you're kind of
she's got dementia. She Phineas Gaged it.
That's
her
what
brain
I'm saying.
Is damaged.
She went from being kind of the fun conspiracy gal to now she's just fucking mad and yelling at Nino, and it's mean, and he's stressed out. And be nice to Nino.
Yeah.
I just talked to a friend of mine I haven't talked to for a while, and I brought up Carrie Cassidy, and my friend normally doesn't talk like this, but she said, "Man, Carrie Cassidy, she's such a bitch." I said, "Yes."
Yeah. Well, she's like, no, but she's gotten like genuinely mean.
Yeah, there was that.
It's odd.
The interview with
nasty woman.
That guy who
her face is really saggy, falling off.
The guy who said we lived in what was it, Colorado or Canada or something?
Yeah.
During that interview, he told Carrie multiple times, like, "Hey, can you?" I think he literally said, "Can you please be nice to me?"
Yeah, like, can you chill?
Because he would try and set up like a clip or something to play so they could comment on it, and Carrie would just be like, "I've already heard this. I don't want to watch it again."
Yeah. You're an idiot for showing her something she's already seen.
And it's like, but the audience may not have seen it, Carrie.
Well, she probably thinks the audience is fucking stupid too.
Yeah. Well, in her case, that might be a safe bet.
This is something I listen to. I haven't listened to as many of your shows recently as I normally do, but you guys have brought up a point that I've been thinking about myself, and that is when I listen to Carrie Cassidy and I listen to some of these people, older interviews and newer stuff, I'm starting to think that maybe David Wilcock really was a genius, or at least in comparison with these other people, because he could hold a conversation, he could give a presentation, he had a vocabulary.
Yeah,
it was somewhat interesting. Some of these people are borderline, if not completely clinically retarded.
We, in the episode that will come out after we're done here, where we watch Ishmael Perez, we had basically this conversation because Ishmael, or Ismail, as we were discussing before the show, I'm not sure about that. He is very clearly reading from ChatGPT for his entire presentation, and he keeps encountering words that he doesn't know, but and he would put awkward pauses in the middle of sentences. Like, it was very clear this was the first time he had ever looked at this piece of text, and he was trying to present it as if it were his own research. But yes, David, just by virtue of stringing together a couple sentences, only now am I fully understanding why it was that people called him like this brilliant scientist.
That's why I ended up calling him ufology's greatest showman, because that's what he was. He could put on a show.
Yes, I think when we
was he retarded? Yeah, but he put on a fucking show.
When we only watched David, I saw him for kind of the dumb guy he was, but when compared to the Carrie Cassidys and the Ismail Perez and the Emery Smiths and the Commander Salamanders of the world,
he's Michael Jordan.
Yes.
It's not really a contest, is it?
No, it's not one you want to win, certainly.
No. Well, look at the prize.
Yeah. I think I was thinking, I was looking at some of these AI generated images of aliens and giants. I'm sure you guys have seen that on social media.
Yeah,
A lot of these,
I make them.
you make them.
Yeah.
So these AI videos too of Trump meeting the Nordics that's been circulating. I just think that despite what we might say about people like Carrie Cassidy, and I don't have good thoughts on her, but when I look at her work, at least she had to do the footwork. At least she had to go to the prison. She had to get hit with the scalar weapon. She had to go out and do the work, but nowadays you don't have to do any work. You can just type it into an AI generator.
Well, that's why I think she's so stuck up. I think she's like, I fucking earned this.
Yeah, and in a way, she's not necessarily wrong.
No, she's just a cunt about it.
Yeah, well, she had to blow all her money going to Egypt to learn a bunch of fucking nonsense.
Yeah,
but
the psychic.
the newer people, like there's that, God, I wish I remembered his name. There's one guy on social media who his whole thing is he just thinks like no one's ever died and people are just an older version of someone.
Well,
did you see that guy?
That's a lot of QAnon though.
But well, it's that kind of thing where they're just being tricked by very basic AI on Twitter, and they think that's research. They think getting stoned.
Is that the boomer generation or is that younger folks?
No, it's everyone. I think a lot of people greatly overestimate the average IQ of their fellow citizen.
As we're learning, yes.
Worldwide too, not even just in America. The human race is becoming incredibly stupid. I can't sugarcoat it. We're getting really fucking dumb. And this is why we're going to beg the robots to take over. We're going to get so stupid, we will beg the robots to take over because we don't know how to do anything anymore, and we're going to get lazier.
That's the plan, right? We're outsourcing our thinking to AI, and then the elites are going to come take over.
We're gonna get Gen Alpha is going to grow up, and we're going to go, Grok, for the love of God, you handle the nuclear launch codes.
I think there's such a deluge of information constantly coming at people that they've just given up on trying to discern fact from fiction.
I can't say that I'm any different. I've almost sort of given up trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, we want to be lied to. That's the truth. Is reality kind of sucks for a lot of people, and it's more fun to be like, look at this fucking giant, having sex with Donald Trump.
Yeah,
like, isn't this more fun?
There's aliens breakdancing on the White House lawn or something.
There's a Nephilim
that was
smoking
James Reed,
meth.
actually.
Yeah.
James
Yes. Another lost soldier.
That one hurt.
Yeah.
We should have done a memorial. All the souls we lost this year, David and James, and
the problem is we have a lot of those at this point. We're racking up a concerning body count.
Yeah, I think I'm expecting the conspiracies about us to start shortly because at this point, of the people we've covered, I think more are dead than alive.
Yes, we've had to replace more than we have found new ones.
Yes,
I've made a prediction. And I mean this seriously, but I'm joking a little bit. I really think Carrie might be next. I mean, she's in a rough place either way you cut it, and she might eat a barrel at some point.
I think.
No, she's a woman. She'll just drag it out for attention.
I think something is up with her that she hasn't spoken about publicly. Like maybe she's just really sick and that's why she's decided to be a complete bitch because she just doesn't care anymore.
Honestly, that'd actually be cool.
But she is not looking well. She's not behaving well. Something's got to give.
Something's just wrong. I can't really tell what, but it's kind of like with David at some point where I was like, I don't know, something's wrong here. Something's off.
Yeah, she's also going to die in a police standoff.
I hope people are checking in on Nino because I'm pretty sure he's armed. I'm concerned about him.
Yeah.
He's posting some stuff on Twitter that's really, I get it, but he's concerning me.
Well, he was at the Fraud Fighter event in Las Vegas. Did you guys see that?
Hell yeah, dude.
Fraud fighters.
What frauds are these people fighting? They should be fighting each other.
Themselves. Yeah. It was a battle royale.
Nino would win. Nino would beat those motherfuckers to death.
That is the advantage. We're speaking of Nino Rodriguez, of course, who was like a heavyweight champion boxer.
Boy, was he. We watched those knockout videos.
Oh my God. He's like 39-2 was his record. And like 36 of those are knockouts. Just a gigantic man.
Boy, he beat the shit out of some of those folks.
He can punch real fucking hard. So I like his odds. I think he could take most people, but he's also done a lot of drugs and drinking in his day. So I'm not sure. That's probably steroids too.
Oh God, that's what I love about it.
The heart
is just cracks to the head too.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure his noggin's been scrambled. Sure. I mean, he talks about like fighting the Mexican cartel growing up to get good at boxing.
Yeah. He also talks about watching trail cam footage and seeing like zombies and elves and stuff.
It's watching trail cam footage is one of my favorite things anybody's done since David's wilderness walks.
Yeah.
Just some of that stuff clearly AI too. I've seen some of the stuff he watched.
Oh, he played some videos that literally were AI, which is again so funny.
We're not even at a point where AI is super convincing, and yet a tremendous amount of people have just completely fallen for obvious AI stuff. I've been kind of caught up by some photographs recently, but it's only going to get worse. 3 years
It was
from
the
now.
tall whites. I bet it was the tall whites in the White House.
Yeah, shaking hands with Trump. I knew that was real.
I think eventually we'll just stop caring. It won't really matter because the internet and the digital world will be just as real to everyone as the real world. So you're like, well, but it's real on Twitter. So who gives a fuck if it's real outside? I don't go outside.
Well, this is my crazy person on a corner rant, which is we have entered Baudrillard's hyper reality. We have created the hyper reality by means of social media, and people like you can still pick whether to live in the hyper reality or normal reality, but I don't think that choice is going to be available in some years from now.
I saw people taking the picture of Trump with the tall whites, and they edited it, I'm thinking with AI, into one of those AI checker apps. So they used AI to check the AI, but they edited it because it's completely fake to say that this image was actually real. And of course, like all these other photographs, it had like 6 pixels, so it's super grainy.
Yeah,
because people can't figure out how to export something in standard definition.
Well, most of these people can't read. You got once again, we all have to lower our common expectations for everyone else because everyone else is really stupid.
Didn't Carrie say she was also using ChatGPT, or she was clearly
everyone, all the conspiracy people probably are, which is very funny because they're so paranoid about it.
I think it was her article about David, if I'm remembering correctly, definitely seemed to have had AI helping her, which, as you mentioned, she thinks. Well, she thought the nanobots were going to like take over our toasters and kill us all that way. So I am surprised
Let's not write that one off just yet.
That's why I threw out the toaster. I can't take that chance.
I just really want the sex bots. I was promised the sex bots, and we haven't got them.
Japan. They're pretty close to them in Japan.
Well, can't you just like go buy a woman in Japan? They sell their daughters there, right?
I think that's Thailand or Philippines.
Wow,
maybe.
those are lady
Japan's
boys.
pretty up to date. I actually went into a sex store recently. It was more of I thought it was a game store, genuinely, and it turned out to be a sex store.
Well, that is a type of game, I suppose. Yeah,
it's a game in a way.
You're just putting a quarter into her pussy.
Different kind of joystick.
It's a yen. It's not a quarter. It's a yen. You gotta get
right. They're dragon money.
No, but they had I really was looking for games. I swear to God, I was looking for games. I walk into this store. They've got like used women's underwear for sale.
Wow.
Things that idols have worn. And then I walked to the back and they had full life-size dolls that were really hyper realistic.
How much are they going for? It's thousands, I guess.
It's tens of thousands of yen, so several hundred to several thousand US dollars.
No. I want a fully functioning iRobot robot that I can have cuddle me when I'm sick.
We're probably going to get there in like a decade with the pace we're at. I saw
I've been lied to again.
That one robot who kicked that Chinese kid in the chest.
That is a great.
Was that real or was that AI?
That was real.
I don't care. It's real to me.
That is kind of where I'm at, which is like if I like a video, it means it was real, and I just choose to accept it. Well, but if it's a bad video that I don't like, it's AI. And
what
fake.
It is, it's Santa Claus. It's Santa Claus theory. If I like it, it's real. If I don't like it, it's fake. You're stupid for believing.
We're getting like a choose your own adventure kind of reality.
It's awesome. It's great.
Yeah,
it really is
live action.
Everyone's going to have to adapt to being schizophrenic, and we've been there for years.
I also can't find my skill tree. I don't know how to upgrade my stats in this game.
Well, it's a hard game to figure out. There's a lot of variables. It's like Path of Exile. There's a lot to do.
Hey, at least you guys know your own names, because the impression that I get from the conversation we were having before the show is that I thought Ishmael Perez spelled his name Ishmael, like call me Ishmael, Moby Dick.
Yeah.
But apparently he doesn't know his own name, or there's an issue with that. What did you guys find out about that?
Well, apparently, we recorded an episode about him, and I'm going to look like an asshole because I'm calling him Ishmael the whole time. But
I think it is Ishmael. I think he's
been to conferences with him, and they've used the term like Ishmael Perez.
we got to check ourselves. Can the chat let us know whether they think his name is Ishmael or Ismail?
I could figure this out if I got a direct confirmation on his ethnicity.
Yeah, I'm not.
There's a couple Sand nations that do the S like a SH.
We think Hawaiian, but that's a complete guess based on how tan he is.
The Rock Brown, and he seemed pretty chill, so I was like, probably surfs, seems Hawaiian, but I don't know. He could be a rug flyer.
Big jacked guy. He might actually be a super soldier.
He's got.
I'm sure he's taking super serum, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, the video we watched, he was wearing like this silk blue shirt that had a lion on it and like the American flag, and he was just flexing his muscles. Yes,
that sounds like a Michael Jaco shirt. You guys ever cover him?
I think when he was talking to Carrie about her David article.
Yeah, he came on my show once, and he told me that he was in, I guess, part of SEAL Team 6, or he was maybe SEAL Team 7. He was one of the SEAL teams, right? And he said he had he flew through the air and assassinated Osama bin Laden. It was pretty cool. I said, Jaco, you flew like physically or it's metaphorically? He's like, well, I'm glad you brought that up. It wasn't like really flying. I said, okay, so you didn't actually fly through the air. And
that's not an easily verifiable thing, is who killed Osama bin Laden.
Did he say he had like a jetpack or something?
No, I think he just, like Superman, just flew.
Oh, wow, that's very impressive. I thought he was going to say he had some top secret tech. God, what an insane thing.
No, he pumped up his Nike Air Maxes.
Yeah, he jumped like Michael Jordan.
The crazy thing about these folks is that for years, no one's ever questioned their stories. They've gone to conferences, they've gone on coast to coast, and no one's ever said, like George Norrie, I never heard George Norrie say, wow, can you provide any evidence of that, or can you elaborate on that? And then a few people on the internet, myself, you guys, and a handful of others start asking questions. Lawsuits start coming out, people getting reported to the FBI. What is going on? Nobody ever asked for proof before?
They want to exist in that reality they've been able to create. And there is something to be said. Like, obviously, one of the things that made Art Bell great was he was able to engage with those people without necessarily pushing back super hard, but he kept it. There was a lighthearted, unserious nature to it that made it okay. Where I think when a lot of these people transition to, selling medicine and shit, it kind of...
I don't think they were getting up to that in the Art Bell days. It was talk radio.
There was some,
but we didn't really have the internet. So a lot of those people, like, they just did it for the love of the game. Like, maybe they had some dumb website.
Online or see Crane Radio.
Now it's been monetized. So they're always, you always have to suspend disbelief, as they say, for a lot of this, because a lot of it's insane and there's no way to have a conversation with someone if you're going to nitpick too much.
Exactly.
But the problem is then it became like pay to play and everybody was making money. And now you ask those questions and you fuck someone's money up. And that's why they get a little pissy about it.
Yeah. Well, you see it especially, with Michael Sala, as we mentioned him earlier, with this Amy Eskridge thing.
He could be next.
The thing that made it definitely the eyebrows are going to take him out. The thing that made that especially shitty was he was like, this lady's not dead. I've got proof. I'll show it to you for $55, which is like that. Something about that is particularly shitty to me, and that makes it worthy of calling out.
Well, it became profitable. This used to be something you did that got you exiled from polite society.
Yes, maybe we should return to that.
She died in 2022 as well, and he didn't tell that story, and I think it was 2022. He didn't start pushing that story until she was one of the scientists that went missing. So he didn't even know who she was until it became a popular story. And then he's like, hey, I'll charge. Well, he reduced it from 55 to 45, but he said, I'll charge $45.
What a hero.
Wow. Yeah. With promo code Amy Eskridge is still alive.
Yeah,
you can
promo
save
code $10. Fake suicide. It's just
promo code lioness bitch. You get $10 off.
It's just them doing that kind of stuff with the money attached to it. Just, it really pushes it from fun to evil.
Yeah, I don't get how you guys do something way different, obviously, than I do, but I call people names, and I've made fun of people for a long time, 10, 15 years, but I don't understand why people like us are called names. Like we're the bad guys. These people are literally profiting off of people's deaths.
it's like a cult mentality is, I think, really what it is, or like a religion or something. We're showing up. These people, yeah,
well, it's that episode of King of the Hill where Hank goes to save Luann
right
from the cult where they're selling jams and jellies, and
Yeah.
she freaks out at Hank.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
They have kind of given all of themselves to this figurehead and just kind of trusted everything they said. So, to some extent, I understand it, because it'd be like showing up in a mosque and being like, that fucking Muhammad sucks. And
they did not like when I did that.
No, or, showing up
You
on
got a fatwa against you.
Yes,
Yeah,
like Salman Rushdie.
You thought these retards were mad. The Muslims are they're furious.
But I do understand that initial, like, super angry thing. The thing that always gets me, though, is how quickly they abandon their morals to sink to our level, which is always intriguing to me, which, they're supposed to be these love and light people. And then you do what Sarah Adams does and send us a DM saying she's going to harass our family members and get us fired from our jobs.
Well, the other thing is, like, it is like UFO stuff, but these people do want to be like famous. They think they're like stars now. It used to be, I want to be a researcher. I want to get the truth out. Now it's like, I want to be big on YouTube.
Yes. Well, a lot of these people, and maybe that's a bit of a distinction, is they believe themselves to be like the main
They're the main character. Every single person thinks they're the main character.
Because it used to be kind of reporting on the main character, but now everyone is themselves like the Messiah.
A lot of I got another show name. I was thinking of America's Next Top UFO Celebrity. That would be great.
Yes.
Good, yeah. But I think that like in cults, if you study cults, as I'm sure you guys have, the literature says that cults will isolate people from their families and friends, right? But I think that there's already a built-in component of that in the UFO community. Most of the people that are into this stuff are already isolated from their family and friends.
Yes,
so it's kind of built in.
There's kind of a distinction. I remember reading a paper about this some time ago, so I'm probably fucking up the details, but there's what they call like epistemic bubbles, and then there's echo chambers. So I think some of this is more an epistemic bubble, which is to say, like, people aren't necessarily intentionally avoiding all information contrary to their beliefs. It's just the algorithm has kind of curated this thing where they never see anyone speaking back against it. Although they're also, like Corey Goode would be more an echo chamber, because if you say something against him, they ban you and, shun the non-believer, basically.
He's a hollow shell, so that's hence the echoing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing much going on there. Do you guys have any Corey Goode updates? Because the last time I heard, he was still in bankruptcy, and apparently that stuff just goes on absolutely forever.
It's been extended again. I think it might be the middle of August is when he has to file like an amended bankruptcy plan, and they've already extended it like twice. So I think this is, hopefully third time's a charm, but I kind of think this shit's just going to drag on.
I'm starting to root for Corey at this point. I'm kind of rooting against the courts. They're so fucking inept. I think he should get away with it.
Yeah, it is. That really would be the perfect like Corey Goode ending, is he somehow manages to sleazeball his way out of having to pay.
It'd also be pretty funny to see Jay Widener freak the fuck out if that happened, dude.
Yeah.
He would have such a meltdown. Oh my God.
He would not be pleased.
I've heard you be pretty critical of Jay recently.
Well, he's been real fucking annoying.
I think rightfully so in regard to Corey and Gaia.
Yeah, he's in case anyone hasn't seen it, he's kind of been rewriting history a bit, saying things like he never really believed Corey, which is like, there's plenty of evidence to show you at least kind of believe it.
Well, it's worse to say I never believed him, because it's like, so what? You just gave them a show and marketed it as real and sold it to people knowing it was bullshit?
Yeah, it's I understand people, everyone went fucking nuts after David killed himself, and I think they were trying to kind of rewrite their character arc within the whole storyline, but that's led to some I think interesting choices, like Jay trying to pretend he wasn't really involved with it.
I've got a bunch of friends that I think back to 2016. I remember doing a show when I was living in Boise, Idaho. I did this big show about QAnon, and I said, the whole thing's fake. I think it's the feds, the CIA, something like that. I don't buy any of this crap. It's nonsense. But I had so many friends that were into it, and they were into Trump, and he's the greatest, and QAnon's real. And after 10 years, now my friends are like, yeah, that stuff's so stupid. Yeah, we can't trust these people. I'm like, dude, you're the guy that promoted this for like 10 years.
Yeah, you were the one trusting him.
Yeah, so I think there's a natural, people do that with everything. They don't want to be on the wrong side, the losing side.
I'm sure it's like a natural human inclination, and that probably worked much better when everyone didn't record all their thoughts on social media every single day. Because it's kind of difficult to make that case now when you can go pull up a decade worth of tweets or videos or TV shows, movies.
Well, it's like Diddy being like, I didn't even like Biggie's music.
Yes, I was never in one of those music videos.
It's like, what are you talking about? What are you even talking about right now? Like, I'm not going to blame you for it, but what are you saying?
It's also, it weakens our side's case overall, because it's like there is so much to criticize Corey Good about, very legitimately. We don't need to bend the storyline to be able to critique Corey Good. And I think it only undermines what we're doing to have someone who's sort of on the same side of the aisle as us kind of twisting the facts a little bit.
Well, now everything with back to the AI, now everything that people don't like, that it's completely real, something they post or something they said, now everybody can just say, hey, it's actually AI. That's not really me.
Which is a nice out. I'm sure that's kind of like, the early 2010s. Anytime a celebrity tweeted something shitty, they do the, I was hacked.
I took an Ambien.
Yeah. So I think that was AI is going to be the new I was hacked.
I can't wait to use it.
Yeah, me too. Keep that one. The talk.
I'm gonna get liberal with it.
All that stuff you guys said about David, that was all AI.
We've never done a show on David Wilcock.
I meant whatever allegations come out, not that. That fucking is AI. That wasn't me.
Yeah, no, we would never do such a thing.
No.
Did anything come of the FBI reports? Because they have not extradited me to the U.S. yet. So
no, I think obviously, Nicole Ann Weaver, Sarah R. Adams. I think Mike Barra got involved in it. Corey Good. Yes, lots of fat and stupid women. They were reporting us to the local police, to the FBI.
They thought they were. What they were doing is tagging them on Twitter.
Yes, they would tag the FBI on Twitter and go, FBI, arrest these men, which I do not understand how you can be a grown adult and think like that's the way you contact the FBI.
It's like
hashtags.
It's how a 12-year-old would think to do it.
Yeah, well, they're very stupid, but even so, like, they were trying to accuse us of murder, basically. And I kind of expected, given the serious nature of murder, there's not much more serious than murder. I kind of thought we were going to have to talk to the cops at some point, just on the basis of them needing to do their due diligence. But whatever Coley and Corey and them were telling the police had to have been so fucking nuts that a man got shot, lots of people were blaming us, and they didn't even bother talking to us about it. So whatever they told them, I'm sure was absolutely wild.
I noticed some of the claims that people were making. There were random people, and there were people that were somewhat well known within the UFO or whatever this community is. And some of them came to me and they said, I heard that there was a person or two people or three people making fun of David. I guess you're that person. I don't even think they have like a coherent understanding that there was a group of people that were critiquing and criticizing David. They didn't even know who you guys were or who I was or who anybody was.
No, it was just the general concept of that type of person.
They certainly found out.
Yeah. I think it's also, Corey, he was just trying like a shotgun approach. He was just trying to put the blame on anyone but himself, because he at one point tweeted something about how one of the police officers killed David, which is probably not a good way to get the cops to listen to the complaint you're making. Is like, yeah, that your fucking friend shot him. Yeah,
the cop shot him. You guys were involved. I was involved.
Yes.
The tagging of the FBI, the tagging of, I think Corey Good tag the school board.
Yes. Also, one of my new favorite ones was, I think Coley or maybe Sarah has contracted with this super hacker guy named Arturo Tafoya, who he's trying to take. I think he tries to take credit for like Cicada 3301, but he's very fucking stupid. But he tried to dox us. Literally every piece of information he gave was incorrect. But in the tweet where he tried to dox us, he tagged the Discovery Channel. Which I don't know why he did that. We have no connection to the Discovery Channel.
Was he the one who put the picture of us and flipped our names?
Yes, he said this is how good of a hacker he is. He said I'm Brandon and he's Perry, despite the fact that there's 700 episodes on the internet. Within 30 seconds of the show starting, I go, I'm Perry and he's Brandon.
Well, that's the one where I saw and I was like, I think these people are like literally too retarded to have that much fun with.
Yes.
Yeah. It almost makes you feel bad.
Yes, they're so pathetic.
Yeah, well, like it's like with dumb children, like not even intelligent children, like stupid children who touch the stove.
Yes, and they all have so many skeletons in their closet, or poop in their tub.
Yeah,
which makes it so.
Those are mushrooms.
Yeah.
Food in their mouth.
It was her herbs. Do you have a picture of Sarah's? If not, I think I have a picture of
I
Sarah's.
don't have it. No.
I think I got it.
Does she claim? No, she claims
Indian.
that.
Is she Indian?
We don't know what she is. We were trying.
She's something.
Can we screen share?
She's not 150 pounds.
No.
I'd have to plug that back in.
Fuck it then. But yes, they're.
It's shit in the tub. It's pretty easy to imagine.
But yes, when we went to critique Sarah, we received a video that showed how the state she had left her house in, and her bedroom was just. It looked like a hoarder's house. You couldn't see the floor. Everything was a mess. The kitchen counter. Her toilet clearly had not been cleaned in probably a year.
Ever.
And then it panned to the tub, and there's a fucking enema hose and little pieces of duty that was floating around the drain.
It was great. I was watching that video that you guys did about that on my phone. Have this tiny little screen, and just seeing a tiny little bit of that in the. Oh God, it was so disgusting. I'm glad you can't pull it up on the screen right now.
Yes, it's nasty. I'm looking at it off to my side. It's horrible.
People like Sarah or Adams are a dime a dozen within this. I don't even know what to call it. This community. I don't know what to call it anymore. But they're a dime a dozen. They're all mentally ill. They're filthy. They're animals.
Yeah, the thing I can't really figure out with her is how she's managing to live, because I don't think she
government assistance probably.
It could be.
I think she's probably got a fella paying for it. Yeah,
that might be the safest bet, because I can't imagine she's making money.
God,
well, no. I watched that one interview she did. I kind of like with Ishmael Perez. She literally could not pronounce words. I mean, I have an accent sometimes. I grew up in West Virginia, so you can't blame me for that. But I'll tell you what, some of these people, they literally, what was the one? I mean, you guys might have played it too, where they couldn't even say the word technology. They said like
technology or something. Yes,
technology. Yeah, like they literally can't pronounce words.
There's something so, ironically enough, alien about the way they talk. It's so just, there's no human warmth to what it is that they say. It's like a rote recitation of something that they don't comprehend, and they can't pronounce things right, and the words aren't right. It's very foreign.
And they're fat.
Yes, and they're fat and shit in the tub.
Disgusting. The worst thing you can possibly be.
Far worse than anything else.
Look, I can excuse a liar, but a fat woman, no.
If you want to see something fun, Sarah Adams has a Threads account. And if you click on the link in her bio, it will take you to, it's not porn. You don't have to worry about that. But it leads to a web page where it just says Sarah R. Adams is a scammer. And she's still posting on that Threads account and is apparently completely oblivious to the fact that the link in the bio accuses her of being a scammer, and it has one of Stephen Cambion's videos about her.
Someone in the chat brought up one of my favorite parts of that interview where she referred to the allegory of Plato's closet.
That was a good one.
That is, it's little tidbits like that where it's like, this is why we have to watch them.
Yeah.
Because I could never come up with something like, if I had a year to write something funny, I'd never be able to come up with Plato's closet.
Well, I think actually, ironically, being able to do content easier has exposed more of these people for how stupid they are. Because you used to only really see them at like conferences or like when they put themselves together for a radio show.
Right.
Now you can see them regularly all the time. And you're like, oh, this person's fucking retarded.
As we have moved away from prepared content, because you're right, like at one of those, Contact in the Desert type things, they would have prepared a talk.
Yeah.
But when they have to do something like this, where they're just speaking with another person, it becomes just so clear how stupid they are and how little depth they actually have.
And it, of course, shows you how many people support them, how much of the general population likewise is equally
Not
or
that
even
smart.
more stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're cattle. We're absolutely cattle. They're 100% right. The Goyim are cattle.
Well, you guys are Mossad agents. I see
Yeah,
that.
as
we've got badges now.
yeah, we got
badges.
we got Mossad badges
yeah.
now.
I thought one of the craziest things about David's death was that people can accuse me of a lot of things, but I am hypercritical of Israel. I'm hypercritical of everything, actually.
Mhm.
And people were accusing me of being a Mossad agent, and I thought that was really fucking crazy.
Well, it doesn't have to have any sort of grounding in reality. They just say things. I remember one time some years ago, someone was critiquing our show, and they said we were promoting David, which is like you couldn't.
David.
Yes, as if we were like a David Wilcock cheerleading show. Which, or people just say things online. There was an article after David's death that wrote about how David had come on to our show to talk about his falling out with Corey Good.
I missed that episode.
Yeah, I missed it too, apparently.
Yeah.
These people, they don't do any research. They come up with a storyline, and then that is just what they go with. It does not matter if it's remotely true. That is just what it's going to be going forward.
I think they mostly just called us murderers.
That too, yeah, murderers.
We didn't really get a conspiracy. They just went straight that you guys killed him.
Yeah.
One of the things within this, again, community, whatever you want to call it, like with the reporting or the tagging of people to the FBI, like the FBI is going to arrest you, that the equivalent of that is found in a couple of different things. It's found in the people like David that claim they've got all these insiders. Insider sounds official. Or people that claim, and maybe they actually they were in the military. Maybe they were a secretary, but they had access to secret information. It sounds official. And it's kind of like Stephen Greer. I briefed the president. But when you ask him for details, he said, well, I sent a letter to the White House, like an eighth grader.
Yes.
So it's things that sound really official. I was in the military. I briefed the president. I reported you to the FBI. But there's no substance to it whatsoever.
It's stagecraft. It's basically like a stage magician. They present this grand illusion, and as long as you can't see behind the smoke or curtains, they can get away with it.
The biggest culprit is Pete Peterson. Pete Peterson is a literal like scourge on the community.
Well, to quote Pete Peterson, huh? That interview.
Yeah, he's one of the most notorious fake insiders I think has ever existed.
And what I liked about him in particular are the claims he made were so specific and easily checkable, like claiming you have an Order of Lenin medal. Like someone would have noted that somewhere. Clearly, that's something like if I just claimed to have a Nobel Prize, you could Google that pretty easily. But he chose to go with it, and people like David and Kerry believed him.
So many people believe Pete Peterson. It's incredible.
And then he did that.
He invented Skynet, so.
Yes, and I think the QWERTY keyboard or something. He invented laptops as well. But he was another victim of the having to speak in a non-prepared format, because when it was Kerry Cassidy, David interviewing Pete Peterson at his home, he was like delirious. He was nonsensical. He couldn't form sentences. It was like an old folks home.
Yeah, the one video that he was in with David, when I think Kerry was asking him a question, he seemed to look in the opposite direction of whoever was speaking, or just stare at the wall.
Yeah. He was just a confused old man. And I think going back to Jay, he had said when Pete was on the show, or maybe that was William Tompkins, one of them, apparently they tried to interview him for like multiple hours, and he was just so fucking out of it they couldn't even put together a 5 or 10 minute interview with him.
So that was probably William Tompkins.
Yeah.
Is that Kerry and some of these people? Do you think that's them being dumber than he is, or being less aware than they are, or do they know that they're not all there and they're exploiting them? Or
I think part of it is these people, especially someone like Pete Peterson, are such crucial cornerstones of the theory crafting going on with these people that to admit to themselves that this guy has lost his fastball would be to basically undermine the entire conspiracy pyramid they've built for themselves. And I think they probably believe it so much that if you were really to push them on it, they'd say like, well, the deep state attacked him and did that to his brain.
That's what I was going to say.
They can't have him expose the truth.
That's what a lot of people do towards the end. They just like, they hit him with the beam that makes him retarded. It's like,
Yes.
well, okay, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's like every time one of these people die, Rockefeller or Bush, they're like 90 years old, 100 years old, and then all the accounts on social media, the deep state finally got theirs. The White Hats killed these people. It's maybe they were just 90.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Why didn't they kill them then when they were 60 or 50, when they were doing all the horrible things that you accused them of? Why did they wait until they were elderly?
Yeah, for those 7 decades where they were just raping the population of all their financial means. Yeah, we've kind of gotten to a weird place where death no longer exists to these people.
Yeah, no one dies.
Which is, no one just dies because, that's something all human beings do at some point. It's always, it's a murder or an assassination or some sort of they're off planet.
Well, you see this in the political sphere too, not even in the conspiracy world. Like for a lot of liberals, men and women can become women and men. And for a lot of conservatives, every woman is a man. Like Jennifer Aniston's a man. So there's a little bit of that on both sides already politically. And then when you get into the conspiracy world, nobody dies and nothing's real. But then the people that are actually alive are dead, and the people that are dead are alive. And it's kind of like an inverse of reality.
It's just reality has become an augmented reality game. The social media has like just laid this extra layer.
It's really warped people's brains, man.
It's really fucked some people up.
I like the transvestigations. Those are my favorite.
Yeah.
David was in those. Did you guys see that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Everyone's in them. QAnon for some reason decided that if you're a person who kind of matters for any minor or major reason, they're like, actually, that's a woman.
Yeah, you're trans. Because I've seen
they're doing
Taylor Swift is a man, Brad Pitt is a woman.
Well, it's the Black Hebrew Israelite where they're like Abraham Lincoln,
black man,
black man,
black man. Yeah,
Cleopatra, black woman.
Yeah.
They're just like David Wilcock had a pussy.
Yeah, there was one image I remember after his death where it was like him, and the image had like a pentagram drawn on his face, and it was just saying he was a woman for some reason.
Well, I think that one had like a bunch of red lines. It had a bunch of random things that were 2 pixels in it. It's who makes that? Is that AI generated, or do people sit there in like a photo editing program? Do you guys know?
I'm sure that was some schizo who had this whole David Wilcock's a woman folder, and he finally found his chance to get that message out to the public. Yeah,
I do think that transvestigators are still doing it old school.
Yeah, well, you have to, because you got to zoom in, you got to look for the Adam's apple.
AI's not quite there yet. It doesn't know how to transvestigate properly.
No, and it'll lie to you because it's covering for the elites.
It'll be like, he's a man. Be like, Grok, I know you're fucking full of shit, dude. Like, stop. Who are you covering for? Who do you work for, Grok?
I love watching stupid people
Show me David's
argue.
pussy. Show me David's pussy, Grok. I know he's got one.
Those guys who like argue with Grok on Twitter when they try and use Grok to confirm their point, and then Grok's like, no, that's not true. And they're like, wait a second, Grok.
Hey,
that's some woke fucking bullshit.
Hey, don't get libtarded on me, Grok.
I know Michelle.
Tell me what I want to hear.
Yeah,
fucking
repeat my ideas back to me.
Tagging Elon, be like, you need to change the algorithm. This one's broken.
Yes,
it's funny that you guys remember David Petraeus.
I know
the general.
Name, but...
The general.
Oh, okay.
And the name is great. It sounds like Petraeus, but
well, he did get us into Iraq, I believe.
He went to they held this in the InQtel conference, the InQtel conference in was it Virginia about 10 years ago, and he talked about like self-organizing collective intelligences, SOCIs, AI, and he said that we're building a system where we're going to be able to feed people, based on their interests, whatever they want to hear, and it'll create these feedback loops, so they'll interact with it, and it'll just pump them full of what they want to hear. They'll pump it full of what they want to hear. It creates a cycle, puts people in a sort of echo chamber, and then people never really rebel or resist. I mean, this was the CIA talking about this over a decade ago. That it kind of sounds like, from having read that's what's already happening. It really sounds, talk about a conspiracy. It sounds like that's what's happening now.
Yeah, I'm not even sure that's a conspiracy. I think that is just what's going on.
I don't think it's happening. I think it's done. I think it's been
done. It's cooked.
Yeah, I think it's a wrap. I think everyone should get real comfortable with how bad it's going to get.
Well, you can see it if you just go to different social media sites. You can see how thoroughly ingrained the bubble is, because the difference between, say, Reddit and Twitter. They're living in two completely different
Or
realities.
Blue Sky. I think Blue Sky is the other one.
Yeah, I've never ventured.
Every time we go viral on Instagram, it's for a certain reason. So
yeah.
I don't figure.
Did you guys buy one of those Chinese dolls yet that you can throw on the table or punch?
No, I need the real
dolls.
thing.
Yeah, we're gonna buy real Chinese children.
I go to the neighbor. I go to my neighbor and I say, "Can I borrow your kid?
Can
I borrow your
smack something around?
Can I borrow your baby for a minute?"
So let me ask you guys this question: with all the AI and with all of these, all these con artists and scammers, what is the future of? I guess what you guys do, or sometimes what I do. What is the future of all this? How can we even make fun of it anymore? It seems so stupid and it seems so fake. Is it even worth making fun of?
I think the only way to outcompete it is to become even dumber. I think that is our only.
Yeah, you got to knock a few IQ points off.
It's a race to the bottom, and we got to beat them there.
Well, it's like learning another language. You have to adapt.
Yes, you must live within it.
Yeah.
Hence the reason that you've decided to cover Mr. Ishmael Perez.
Yes. For some reason, we had never talked about him until today. I don't know why.
I mentioned him to you one time, but you said, you're like, I don't know much about that guy. I'll look into it at some point.
A lot of people have recommended him, especially over the last year or so, but it felt like every time I went to watch him for an episode, something else would have come up, and we did that instead.
I just think the life cycle of a lot of these people is probably going to become shorter.
I think that's a good point. I think you're probably right, we're kind of seeing that occur with the general UFO people, like what's the fat stupid guy who talks about
be way more specific.
He's got a bunch
of them,
the goatee.
Jimmy Church?
No. He was on Rogan at one point, claimed to work for the government, like ATIP or something.
What, Elizondo?
Elizondo, thank you.
Yeah, yes. He is fat. Yeah.
Yes, he's fat and stupid and has a goatee.
Oh, you guys,
my description.
I think
was
he's
perfect.
an alcoholic too, which is twisted.
When my wife knows nothing about any of this, but when I was watching that Age of Disclosure documentary, and she said, "Oh, is this UFOs?" And we can speak a little bit of each other's language, but she's like maybe 60% English, so she doesn't have the full lexicon of words. So she looked at this documentary and she saw this guy, and I said, "What do you think of this guy?" She said, "He's what was the term she used? Niku Atama." And I said, "What's that mean?" She said, "Meathead." I said, "Yeah, that's pretty accurate. That's right. I think that's what this guy is." And she saw some of these others, and she knows nothing about the UFO stuff. And that guy looks like a scumbag. That guy, is he trustworthy? It's just weird from the outside looking in. And I wanted to ask you guys about this anyway. I don't mean to derail the conversation, but over here in Japan, like we're in the middle of a typhoon right now. I've scoured Japanese social media. I can't find anything where people are claiming that it's manufactured, that it's fake. It's just normal. It happens every year. It's that time of the year. I feel like so much of this stuff is very centric to the United States. It's very much within the borders of our country. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but I can't seem to find as much of it outside of the United States.
And I do wonder how much of that has to do with the level of freedom of speech that we're afforded here, where you can, you're allowed to say ridiculously fucking dumb shit.
I think we're just a very easily manipulated country. I think we're a very stupid country.
It's also, I think there's so many different cultures kind of spread out across the states, and a lot of people are just unfamiliar with what goes on in the 49 states they don't live in. So I think there's almost this idea that there's like foreigners within our own country. Like there's a magical land called Louisiana where there's some sort of giant mythical crocodile that will kill all.
Well, we've watched a lot of the white trash recently, and like those people are easy to manipulate. That's the country. Yeah, that's most of the country.
That is rural America. It is.
Yeah.
White trash, yeah.
So like that. So it's not really surprising. Now they have the greatest propaganda device ever created.
It's also, I think sometimes we forget, like we've been immersed in this stuff for quite some time. So it's very obvious to people like us when we see kind of a common scheme that someone's running, where it's like, here's this new alien, or, ascension is going to happen on this day. But I think we kind of lose sight of how alluring that topic is when you're first introduced to it, where I think a lot of people want to have that fun. They want to believe the crazy thing they're hearing.
Honey, the president met a tall white alien, and you'll never believe it. He's sexy as hell.
We're going to get dosed.
No, he tweeted it. It's real. It's real. It's happening.
That's like that old Bill Hicks bit where he talked about something similar to that. And he said, "Honey, I saw it on the TV. I saw it on the news. I saw it on the social media."
Yeah.
Oh, Bill Hicks would kill himself if he came back to life.
Yeah, he'd David.
He would take one look at what's going on and say, "No, I'm not doing this."
Well, it was all so predictable. I don't think once social media came onto the scene, we started to see where it was going. I don't know there was a way to stop it.
No, that's why I keep telling people, I'm like, things have been set and are in motion that we can't really undo. So you kind of just gotta ride the wave.
This is why I completely hopped off of social media. I've never really been on social media except, MySpace when I was in like 6th grade. But
I just watch people open Pokemon cards.
you can really just skip out on 90% of the nonsense that goes on by not paying attention to social media or heavily curating your feed, which is like my Twitter feed on my private account that I don't tweet from is worlds apart from our podcast account where we follow all kinds of crazy shit.
It's a disastrous feed.
It's insane because my normal feed is like 90% sports and watches, and that is it.
Yeah.
And then our account is like a pseudo racist propaganda from some Russian bot.
And Indians dying.
That too. A lot of Indians dying on train
a lot of
tracks.
Indians on my account too. A lot of AI Indian videos.
They die in the most incredible ways, really.
Well, you guys are gonna like this. There's a lot of Indians over here, and there's a lot of Indians that work at convenience stores. I went to a Lawson. I had to return something. They have these stuff over here is a little bit more advanced in the US. You can go to a convenience store and not get stabbed out front. There's not a lot of black guys out front.
No, where's the fun in that? I like a little thrill at 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
So I go to this Lawson, and I go inside, and I'm trying to use the machine, and I couldn't remember I knew you had to have a barcode, and I knew that you had to create it online, but I didn't remember how to do it. So I go in. This Indian guy has no clue how to make it, even though he works there at the machine. But the point is, he grabbed my phone when I was trying to read the instructions. He grabs my phone, takes it out of my hand. He starts rubbing on it, like touching it, and he gives it back to me. And I swear to God, man, there was like something on his hands. It made the screen slimy, and it
was Vaseline.
Well, they're gross. It's
a caricature.
They are what they are. I don't know what to tell people. It's fucking.
There are some times where it feels like some of these people have been created by racists to reinforce stereotypes. Because it's just, there have been a few things recently where we've been watching something. God, what was the most recent? I think it was some black person's name, where I was trying to not be racist, and I read the article, and their name was like Debrickashaw or something.
It's always exactly what you expect. Yeah.
It's all a parody of itself at this point.
Look, it's not it's not great. It's not necessarily wrong either.
I'll tell you what I love. I love Asian racism. The racism over here is unbelievable, man. The Chinese hate the Japanese hate the Chinese. They all hate.
Well, they've been doing it for thousands of years because they've all been in the. Yeah, their culture's all been around each other for just thousands of years, and that's a lot of resentment to build up.
It's great to watch like Japanese racists do like Chinese faces. Like they do even more slanted eyes. Yeah, it's so great. And then
you can't open your eyes. Open your eyes.
You go back to American social media, and it's a bunch of like liberal white women telling people that they're racist. It's so stupid.
Well, you just got to laugh at those people.
Yes. And I think
the fun thing to go is like, and then they kind of don't have anything to say.
I think we've kind of shifted. Right. Yeah. We've shifted away from that kind of like hysterical sort of.
Well, they want you to care. And it's like, I don't. So.
Yes. As long as you don't really. I think there's something to be said for just significantly overshooting the bounds of what is culturally appropriate. Like you can be so far outside the lines that you're kind of ungovernable, because it's like those types of people rely on someone who slightly puts their foot over the line. They can chastise them and kind of like try and bring them back to being politically correct.
They're superior.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, it's like I made fun of the Kool-Aid pineapple. I didn't try to buy him.
Yes.
Like, so that's what a real racist would do. I'd let him in my store.
Yes.
I'm not going to make him go out back to get his food.
I think let him drink from the water fountain.
Yeah, he can share my water bottle as long as he doesn't touch it with his lips, but that's because it's gay, not because he's black.
We have a separate drinking fountain in our apartment just in case.
Yeah,
in case
well,
someone comes to work on the
yours is kosher.
Yes, that too. I have a separate fountain for every race and religion. There's 27 water fountains in our apartment.
It's taking up all the space.
Yes,
honestly.
I've wasted so much money.
We're so committed to it. We've ruined our apartment. It's really, no one else is putting in that type of work.
I think racism's funny. I think that a lot of things, we should laugh at them, especially considering the situation we find ourselves in now in America. People are just so angry and so retarded. We need to laugh at all of this stupid stuff.
It's
going to consume us if we don't.
That anger, I think, is just so addictive for people, where that is like the simplest.
It's exhausting to me. I don't get it.
It's the simplest emotion to create, like anger and fear. And I think we're seeing people, now that social media is monetized and they just want clicks or conversation, they're going to target fear and anger because they can kind of consistently get people to evoke those emotions.
I did get one guy on that reel that went viral, and I was just like, brother, we're retarded. And he was like, all right, that was a good response. I'll follow you. I was like, yeah, dude, like, we're not being as, I'm in a do-rag wearing a foundational Black American shirt. Like, the fact that you're taking us seriously is really more of an indictment on you.
Yes. In case someone doesn't know what we're talking about, we put a short up on Instagram that somehow got like 1 million fucking views, which is insane. But we were talking about the Kool-Aid pineapple trend over here, where people are mixing Kool-Aid powder with pineapple and selling it for like $30 a bottle. But yes, we were kind of making fun of the Black entrepreneur. And as you said, you're literally wearing a do-rag and a foundational Black American shirt where you've cut the sleeves off of it.
Yeah.
And somehow people are watching that and thinking we're like a news channel or something.
Yeah, we're doing funny voices. And they're like, oh, you white crackers just don't find it funny. It's like, bro, you got to calm down, man.
I don't understand how there's a type of person who could just visually see what we were doing and think like we're Cronkite and Murrow.
To defend some of my brothers and sisters, most of them did find it funny. It was a small percentage. But that small percentage got real fucking mad.
It's always a small percentage.
And they're the loudest too. Is always they're always talking to movie theaters.
Well, but what I do, and this is they hate this, is I hit them with a compliment after they say something mean, and I'll just be like, they'll be like, you white crackers are gonna get killed for this, and I'll be like, thank you, King. We do this.
Blessings, King.
I was like, we do this for y'all, and everybody finds that very funny because then you disarm them. Because once again, at a certain point, some of them do realize like, I was being silly. They're goofing.
There are so many very real problems in the world that could probably use a lot of attention and focus. And for people, there seems to be a large portion of the population that believes literally the most important thing is criticizing people on social media. Like, that's how we save the world, is find a guy who tweeted something we kind of dislike, and then we've ruined his life, and that will end slavery or whatever they're trying to do.
I've noticed that on some of the social media that I get over here, there's a bunch of these accounts that are pushing and we get this not just in Japan, it's in Sweden and other parts of the world. They're pushing this idea that the original Japanese were actually Black.
Whoa.
When I read the comments to that, the comments are like really respectful. There's like a bunch of crazy Japanese people too that I'm sure that feed into all this, but the comments are mostly respectful. They're like, why would you say something like that? That's very disrespectful. Please don't say that about my culture. And it's like, even that is so much different than the kinds of things that I see on American social media. And it made me start thinking, especially now with the World Cup and how Japan has all this positive publicity because of cleaning the stadium or respectfully protesting or not protesting, respectfully celebrating, not rioting, like they did in New York. And I just wish that my country, this is the point, I wish that my country had that kind of reputation. I wish my country had the reputation of not rioting, of being respectful, of bowing, of having clean streets. Why can't we have that?
Because people are too selfish. I think there's too much. There's something to be said for America's cowboy spirit. And the cowboys, they were individualists. Not a lot of cowboys, picking up litter along the way. I think it's partly what makes us great is there's just people who go out and do whatever it is that they want to do. But that only works when someone's like competent and they're actually doing something worthwhile. Because that spirit, when applied to a large population, where it's a bunch of guys getting day drunk and shitting in a trash can during a parade or something, that's where that sort of desire to do whatever the fuck you want goes awry.
I kind of like that we burn shit down after someone wins a championship. If you thought that was a riot in New York, you should see LA when the Lakers or Dodgers win a championship.
I remember specifically, it was one of the Lakers three-peat championships where it was the game where they were gonna it was gonna be their fourth win, and before like the end of the game, there was a commercial. And I think it had Derek Fisher and Shaq. Yeah. And it was like, please, Los Angeles, don't burn down the fucking valley after we win.
I remember that. I was a big Lakers fan in high school. I remember that.
Yeah. We're begging you, please don't burn the city down. Keep it to like a $10 million minimum damage.
Well, the year before they went buck wild. They were like flipping cars and lighting shit on fire. It was
well, hey, where I grew up, they used to burn the couches. Famously.
See, I think that's cool. I like that we fuck shit up. We just gotta kind of rein it in and get rid of the Indians.
Maybe that's what it is. Is that spirit?
It used to have a purpose, is what it was. Now it feels
it's an excuse to commit crimes and just be an animal.
It's chaos and anarchy. There used to be a real purpose behind it. It's like, fuck yeah, the Lakers won. I'm going to burn this fucking Toyota down.
My reaction to sports when I was a huge sports fan as a kid, it was never like, hey, I'm going to go steal a TV because my team won. Yeah. I'm going to go steal a stereo because my team won. I'm going to set the neighbor's house on fire because my team won. There's definitely a difference between the old kind of, people celebrating the old style of that and what they do today. It's just an excuse to commit crimes now.
People just want to do crazy shit, and they feel like if enough other people are also going to participate in it, it kind of gives them like a license to do whatever, because now they're not individually culpable. It's like the mob violence kind of thing, where it's like, well, the mob is doing it, so why don't I?
Well, speaking of mobs, I've never heard you guys talk about this, and I don't know if I've ever even done a show on it. Remember the Storm Area 51 event?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever cover that or talk about that? Did you have I just thought of it kind of randomly. I was wondering.
I think we might have briefly talked about it. Only I think all we really said was like, if they do this, they're going to get shot.
Yeah,
I was hoping someone would cross the line personally.
That would have been funny.
I think someone actually reached out to them, was like, hey, they're going to actually like shoot you and arrest you if you try to do this.
That was it was like a 4chan meme where everyone was going to go to Area 51 and just run at the gates or something like that.
There was all these different theories of how it started. I'm 99% sure though it started with Art Bell and Heather Wade, which is I think his daughter, because she was on the network that I was on. They actually booted me from the time slot I had to put her on. And Art Bell had told her like, hey, it's like a publicity stunt, and she had promoted the idea. They said it was some random kid, I think, in Nevada that had come up with the idea, but I think it was Art Bell that was one of the primary people behind it. Anyway, though, when you watch the video, there's a great documentary about it. There's like women that are twerking on the line, like right on the military base line. There's like women twerking on the line in front of the soldiers. Everybody's drunk and high, and
that's America, baby.
That's fucking USA. USA.
Yeah. Well, the thing about those kinds of events that I don't understand is that people think that going to a military base and getting arrested or potentially getting shot is proof that there's aliens. It's like, no, it's a military base. If you run across the line, you're probably going to get shot or arrested. Well, no, that just means there's proof of aliens.
Yes, in the same way you can't just like run into the Oval Office where the president is. There's
aliens in there.
Yes, that's why, because Donald Trump is an alien. It's him. Everyone is an alien.
Yeah,
every single person. Anytime there's a locked door or you're not allowed to go in somewhere, it's because there's aliens in there. Every single building in the United States.
That's why they make you get a code a lot of places in the U.S. to go to the bathroom at grocery stores. It's not because people doing drugs in there. It's because there's aliens.
Yes, it's not because junkies are shooting up and they have to change the color lights so they can't see their fucking veins in the bathroom. It is the gray aliens.
I'm going back to the mothership, man. Give me a minute.
Now, I will say, if you're not accustomed to that flavor of junkie, you probably would think they were an alien if you happened upon them.
I've seen a few Fentlines that looked very foreign.
Well, they almost do like a T-Rex thing where their arms kind of go a little
insectoid thing too, maybe.
Yeah, yes, they're mantids.
Well, speaking of all of that, this is the big question that I wanted to ask you. And I was curious if you guys have seen this transition, because from the world that we come from and the stuff that we talk about, it's obviously unhinged and people are out of their minds, crazy, delusional. And for the longest time, anybody who was even scientifically interested in UFOs would be equally written off as insane and crazy and stupid. But now it's made it into the mainstream. And now you have people like Anna Paulina Luna and others that are pushing this stuff in Congress with Elizondo and others that are just equally as stupid, but now they have like an official badge. They've got an official title. And it feels like the entirety of the UFO, whatever this is, has now made it mainstream. And rather than having some kind of professional scientific look at the subject, now it's basically the David Wilcox of the world with official passes and congressional approval looking and talking about the same thing. So it's made it mainstream. And I don't, if there, whatever's real about the UFO, we're never going to get to the bottom of it because it's so, what's officially being discussed is just stupidity.
Didn't I think Anna Paulina Luna tweeted about David after his death?
She did. She was a fan of David.
I've sort of had to deal with the fact that no one knows how to check a source, because anyone who watches any of the people we did, like if you watch one live stream of David, any reasonable person would have been able to get a pretty good assessment of the level of like validity that his claims had. But I think because everything gets filtered through the social media, they're not seeing 3.5 hours of him, hysterical and manic. Basically, they're getting one tweet or someone. Yeah, or someone edit, like they put together a 1-minute TikTok edit, and then someone stupid like Anna Paulina Luna sees a 30-second clip, is like, oh my God, this guy's brilliant. When if she just followed to the source of that clip, she'd be able to, well, maybe not. Well, I don't know how stupid she is.
I think she actually kind of got a taste of it, and I think she kind of got sick of Elizondo, because I think at one point she tweeted out, I think it was like after having a meeting with him, she's like, it's become pretty clear that some of these people are just here to like sell a book.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah,
she did say that.
That's kind of the whole thing now, is if you do spend enough time with them, you realize like, you're trying to get money out of this. You don't actually have.
Avi Loeb was in Washington. Did you guys see Avi Loeb in Washington? He's like, I need $1 billion to study aliens. I need $1 billion. Give me $1 billion.
Oh, of course. Yeah, we always need more money. It's right around the corner.
That doesn't look good for you guys either, because he's from Israel. He's Jewish.
Yeah.
He's like, I need $1 billion. I need $1 billion.
Look, I hate to criticize a coworker, but sometimes you got to call a spade a spade.
Our fellow Mossad agents. That should probably be like the most clear indicator that someone's not going to actually reveal something, is when they paywall it. Like, how many great things have come from a paywalled presentation? I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
About Amy Eskridge's death. That came from
yes, that's true. I couldn't afford it, so I still don't know the truth.
It's also the first time we have real, people in Congress being like, hey, can you give me the info? I'll get it out.
Yeah.
And then the people who say they have it showing up, they're like, nah, I can't actually.
Again, no one's just like with this whole community, no one's ever asked for proof. No one's really ever asked for evidence before.
And now I think a lot of people who are trying to do it in Congress, and I think they actually were trying, but I think they're realizing, having now dealt with some of these people, like, oh, these people are retarded. Like there's nothing actually here. Yeah, they're lying, and they're stupid. They don't actually have anything.
Well, they'll do things like claim they worked for the government, which some of them did, but then their strongest evidence will be like a fourth-hand story they heard about some guy they've never met.
Yeah,
which is like, just having worked in those departments in the government doesn't mean everything you know is going to have been derived from you working there. It's still possible that a guy who worked for the government could listen to fucking nonsense on Gaia and then try and regurgitate that.
Well, I mean, that's what that Israeli security chief did. What's that guy's name? I can never remember.
The defense guy. We just saw a video of him with Uri Geller.
Yes, that guy. And I think his daughter had said that he got the Galactic Federation story from Laura Eisenhower.
Oh,
so he got it online. She said once her dad retired, he was online a lot, and he started reading about this stuff, and that's where he got it from. He didn't get it from his government position. He got it from Laura Eisenhower.
And I think it's that conflation that so greatly confuses people, because you would think a guy who is, the director of defense for fucking Israel would have some insight. But no, he's listening to the same fucking idiots we're all listening to.
Yeah. Well, do you guys, speaking of paywalls, do you guys remember I think it's infamous now in our world, the infamous Linda Moulton Howe video game paywall image?
No.
Oh, go ahead.
Did she tried to make a video game?
No, I think Stephen Cambion covered this pretty extensively. It's a game I played as a kid. It was on the PlayStation 2 or 3, I think it was, and it was called Area 51. And the cover is this gray alien, and in the reflection of its eye, you can see the lunar lander. Remember that?
Okay. Yes, I remember this story now. I remember that.
You put that behind a paywall.
It's just like, do none of these people know how to right click and do a reverse image search on Google Chrome?
Well, I think part of it.
elderly.
I think part of it is we've just gotten to the point where it's like everyone's ready to do something, and we're going, okay, you've talked about it. Can we get it now? And the people who've been talking so much shit will be like, next week, I swear it's coming next week. And it's like, well, hey, dude, you told us you had it. Where is it?
Well, the investments are coming next week. We're going to get $1 billion.
Tuesday or Friday.
Yeah.
There's also something where now, like, a stain on your reputation doesn't necessarily hang around as long as it once did, because the news cycle has become so rapid. So you can do something very fucking stupid, like show a screenshot of the video game from the 90s and be like, the aliens are here. But with the way social media works, it'll be gone in 6 days.
Did you guys see Giorgio Tsoukalos also criticizing the congressional folks about the aliens?
No, but that's surprising to me.
Oh, it's very interesting, because Giorgio Tsoukalos used all capital letters in some of the text, and he said, just show us the evidence or shut up, in big capital letters, shut up, which I thought, if Giorgio from Ancient Aliens, Mr. I felt like you kind of crossed a line.
Well, I think he's also dealt with these people. So once again, if you have a brain and you've dealt with these people, I'm sure it's very apparent very quickly most of them are fucking stupid.
Yes, it's something I've tried to drive home to people is literally everyone in the history of the world who has gotten a microphone and claimed they're going to bring about disclosure. Literally 100% of those people have been wrong. And there's probably something to learn from that, which is the next guy who grabs the microphone and goes, I'm going to show you all that. And no, you're not. You're not going to do it. You're going to be like the previous 500 people who said that.
Well, it's just, if you were the guy who did that, you'd go down in history. You'd be you'd be the ultimate UFO insider. But no one seems to want to do that, which is where you go like, okay, well, that's a little weird. Now's the time. You'd get a book deal. You'd get a TV show. They do documentaries about you. You'd become the most famous person on the planet.
Yeah.
They just like the foreplay of it.
Yeah.
Well,
that's all that it is. They like the build up to it.
It's fun to be that person in theory, but in practice, that's a very heavy responsibility. So it's much more fun to be on the speaking circuit and be like, you'll never see what I just saw. I have Jeremy Corbell. You're like, I've got the craziest videos.
Doing like bar tours.
I have the smoking gun. You're like, well, can we see it? He's like, next month when my movie comes out, you'll be the first to see it.
Donate to the GoFundMe.
I don't think with him it's a smoking gun. I think it's a crack pipe. I'm pretty sure he's on several substances.
I think a lot of these people might be indulging in the great spiritual rock. The crystal.
I wish that would explain a lot. Unfortunately, I don't think so.
But I've kind of made a similar point before when it comes to all the people who talk about free energy, which is like, if you could do free energy, you would very quickly become probably the richest person in the history of the planet. So the idea that these people kind of try and hide that work away, or they refuse to show the devices they claim to have made, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's the equivalent of someone being like, I have the Mega Lotto ticket. I have won $1 trillion. It's like, well, why don't you go redeem the ticket? No, I won't be doing that.
Well, it's like, yeah, if we had the greatest podcast on the planet, we're like, well, but we're not going to do a show anymore.
No, we're not. You can't listen to the show.
And they're like, but we want the greatest podcast ever. It's like, well, we have it, but no, we're not putting out.
We won't be putting. We're putting together a documentary, and we're going to have to pay for it.
We have insiders that say the next episode we put out will be the biggest episode of all time.
It will bring about ascension,
but we
can't show
put it out yet. Yeah, we have a book coming out in about 6 months, so maybe check back then, and it'll be in the book.
There's going to be a book tour, a speaking tour, a movie, a documentary.
I found it kind of funny too that for years people wanted the government to acknowledge, UFOs. You now call them UAPs, and then when you get some people in government, some members of Congress that are talking about it, then those members of Congress who are the government go to the government and say, we want the government to disclose to us, the government, what you know about aliens. It's kind of like circular logic, and it doesn't really make any sense. Plus, I think it's all based, this idea that we can just give amnesty to these people that are supposedly working on all of these, UFOs behind the scenes, the black budget programs. It kind of assumes that they don't like their jobs. And I feel like if I was in a black budget program, had unlimited money and complete immunity from crime, I don't think I'd want to give that up.
No, and you got all kinds of fantastical technology. You got teleportation. You can go to different planets. Emery Smith talked about the Stargates, and
well, it's also just like, yeah, the CIA probably has it, but why would they need to tell? You think they care about Congress? Like, oh, you filed some paperwork? Yeah, we're gonna get right on that, buddy. Of course.
Maybe it's been disclosed, but they just get in the time machine or through the looking glass technology, and they just go back to before it was disclosed.
Every time they could be disclosing it every single day, and then just doing that.
And that sounds like some crazy shit you'd hear on Project Camelot. We should pitch that at Gary.
It's a Carrie Cassidy.
It's already been disclosed.
I'm gonna buy one of those like Groucho Marx mustache glasses things, and I'm gonna try and be a guest on Project Camelot.
She would just get mad and say she already do that. Why are you telling me that? She'd be like, "You're fucking stupid. I said that 15 years ago.
I've already told the president about that."
Yeah, you're retarded.
Did you guys see the Jeremy Corbell interview with Playboy?
No, I heard about it, but I haven't actually sought it out.
Oh, it was good. Playboy is Playboy, but the journalist goes up to Jeremy and says, "Hey, Jeremy, I'm so-and-so with Playboy." And the journalist quotes Jeremy as looking back at him and like screaming at him, like, "Where's your press pass? Where's your identification? Where's the proof you are who you say you are?" These
people are all, and this is a funny juxtaposition to me, which is it's such a inherently silly field, like all these, space fantasy stories. And then these people get a taste of fame. And they just become such like raging assholes about it. They're
divas.
They love that power. They love the power that people looking up to them gives them.
It's a power trip. It's an ego trip. You see a lot of that at conferences. It's pretty much all that you find at conferences. I mean, hey, and Brandon, if you want to find a girl, you got to go to a conference. You should know by now what to say and how to say it. You should be able to pick up anybody you want.
I will say anything. That's kind of, whatever you say, sweetheart.
Well, I'll just tell them I know where a ship is. I'm going to take you to the aliens, do the Sarah R. Adams and be like, I can actually, this is something Sarah used to sell, is she would get you onto the ship. And to like go to the alien. Yeah, you would get onto the mothership. Now, first you had to consume a large quantity of psychedelic mushrooms. But then she would take you to the alien ship.
Honestly, if we showed up with those Mossad badges, we could probably scare the bejesus out of 90% of the people.
Oh, I've wanted to just go with like an MIB suit on, some dark sunglasses, and stand in the back. Because there's already people there without. You don't have to have a suit on. There's people there that are always looking around frantic, like, I think that guy over I think he's the Men in Black. Or you're sitting down having dinner and they're all talking about how, there was a couple of guys here earlier and I think they work for the CIA. Like the people are already paranoid beyond belief. So
I just think Mossad is very in vogue right now. And I think everyone, that's the thing, is a lot of these people, because it's like Tupac when he started becoming ghetto and like a thug, and he believed it. It's like, he was a theater kid, like this was a persona, but he kind of went crazy and started believing that was who he was. And I think some of these people, they start believing their own bullshit so much that like, the government's going to fucking kill me for what I know. And it's like, dude, you don't know anything. What are you talking about?
You read Reddit posts.
Like, at best, it's like you sold 200,000 copies of a book. What are you talking about?
Yes. And then the other twist they do to it is they'll be like, I have to sell these books because that's why they won't kill me. Yeah. Because I'm a public figure. Now, David did that famously on Carrie Cassidy's show.
Well, they didn't kill David.
That's true.
He had books. I didn't know he had books.
But where that was one of his cut break things, I'm sure. But it was just, it's very convenient that the best way to not get killed by the government is to give me money.
Is to make more money.
Yes.
That's the only way to survive is I need more donation.
Fame and money.
Fame and money is the only way I can sustain.
And they're coming after me, but they can't take my PayPal down, right?
Yes, they can't debank me and they can't take away my mansion.
Yeah. They're still on YouTube.
Yeah, that's a good point. They took away. Well, we're under attack. We're the ones under. The government's trying to kill us.
That's how you know who's telling the real shit. Is we're the ones who have to go to Rumble.
Yeah, we've been cast out.
We are the ones who have to do fake Joe Rogan AI ads, not them. They get fucking real YouTube ads. They got Nike on their videos.
I watched one of those videos that you guys did, and you guys were talking, and then suddenly it cut, and the guy that was doing the ad, I'm pretty sure it was AI, but it sounded like Brandon, and I thought that you guys were doing an on-air read for something.
They've probably cloned our voice for ads, to be honest.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. I think they cloned your voice, and then it sounded like your show. I was about 20 seconds into the ad, and I swear to God, I was like, they were just talking about something real stupid. Now they're talking about Rumble Wallet.
Yeah, we got to sell. My favorite ad I've been seeing recently on Rumble is it's like a pocket pressure washer, as if that's something anyone would need. It's just there. You're out about
like
town.
A tiny pressure washer, so you can.
Yeah, it's like a hose thing you keep in your pocket. I don't know where you hook it up to. I don't know how that works.
That's because you're not a real American. You don't live out on a farm.
The one I liked better was there used to be that like beating up immigrant stick.
The stabbing stick? Dude, the stabbing stick was kick ass.
It was basically a stick if you lived near the border, so you could beat off.
You beat off, yeah. You got to beat off the Mexicans. I think we actually made that joke when we saw it the first time.
But yes, the whole point was like if you're, if you hike along the border, in case any evil people come up to you who happen to not be white, you can just crack them one upside the head.
Get any Carmelo Anthony's.
That is hilarious.
Trying to buy a Slurpee.
Yeah, they did Rumble for a long time. Did have like fake Joe Rogan or
fake
Ben
Tucker.
Shapiro.
There's a lot of fake Tucker ads.
Yes, and then go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I love them though. They're kind of my favorite part of the app. Like I criticize them, but they're ads,
fun.
Those ads are really fucking funny.
There's also the Russell Brand one where he was selling
his talisman.
Yeah, a magic amulet. Which is
did you guys see someone made an amulet of one of those so-called UFOs from the DOJ, FBI, NASA release? They got like a
NYC.
I think it was. I'm pretty sure that was a rocket or some other kind of very man-made technology. It did have an exhaust trail on it, but they've turned it into an amulet now, a talisman.
Yeah, that guy's kind of crazy. That jeweler, the Tracks NYC. There's a lot of videos on his YouTube channel of him just like fighting with people in the Diamond District in New York.
Awesome,
yeah,
dude.
where he just goes and he yells at him like, "You fucked me over!" And just like some Armenian guy sold him gold that was like 0.001% less pure. And he acted like Jesus in the fucking temple. He ran in there, flipping.
Is he Jewish?
Well, you're going to be shocked to learn
You'll
this.
never believe this.
Yes, actually.
Well, his fault for trusting in Armenian. That's mistake number one.
But that guy's fucking nuts. But I did see that the little chain with the spiky thingy.
So I've joked for years and also said seriously that a lot of this stuff is like a religion. And I think because there's holy sites, you can go to Rachel, Nevada, you can go to Kecksburg, Pennsylvania, you can go to Rendlesham Forest. So there's like holy sites. There's holy men. David was one of them. You can't question the saints and the prophets. It is very religious-esque.
Yeah, well, I think that's why we get an interesting reaction is because no one had gone up to the Lord and be like, "Hey, you're gay."
Yes, if we were in the crowd for the sermon at the mountain, be like, "You're fucking gay."
Just going up to the 12 apostles and be like, "That's fucking stupid, bro."
Yeah, all those.
We're kind of like Judas. A little bit like Judas.
Yes, except we make less.
Except
we don't even get 30 pieces of silver.
I wish. Oh man, 30 pieces of silver is good money right now.
I could retire off 30 pieces of silver.
Fuck. But yeah, it's kind of like going up to their idols and be like, "This is dumb."
Well, as we kind of, as Nietzsche told us, God is dead. As people kind of tried to maneuver their way through a godless society and find something else to provide them meaning, I think there is a lot of stuff like aliens, or for some people, it was sort of the social justice movement. Like they find this new thing where all the energy that used to be put towards some creator or like some grand feelings about the universe has been directed towards aliens or other shit.
As they say, you might not be religious, but you're going to worship something.
Yes, that energy, I think everyone kind of has something like that, and some people just direct it poorly.
Well, people want something to believe in. And that's what most of this community sells them, something to believe in, whether it's underground bases or it's the coming financial reset or it's alien invasions or
it's the quantum financial system.
Yes. It's really stupid too. Like if you read about Project Bluebeam, you guys ever read the original paper on that?
Yeah.
I haven't.
It's not even about aliens. It's about the second coming of Jesus. So this, and the guy at the beginning of it, he talks about his inspiration was like Jurassic Park and Space Odyssey and Star Trek. It's a pretty common themes in the work that we do. These people are very interested in raptors and
Yeah.
Well, life is like a movie to a lot of these people.
Yes.
The QAnons have taken it to like an uncomfortable level, but a lot of them, it's an eternal movie that they're the star of.
It is sort of like a Hollywood religion, which is people are just taking bits and pieces from all their favorite movies and being like, this is what the afterlife is going to be. It's going to be me and Rocky. And
yeah, I think Captain Randy Kramer recently, I had seen a video where he had said, and a lot of them do it, they'll say things like, well, you know that movie Jurassic Park, you know that movie Star Wars, it's very similar to
so
he does that a lot with Carrie. He does that all the time, where he references a movie first and then he explains the plot and he's like, yeah, that was real.
Yeah, that's kind of one of my weak spots when analyzing this stuff, because I'm not like a big movie guy, but very consistently when we watch these people, I will get an email after the fact, be like, that's the plot from this movie. They just straight up stole the plot.
There's a lot of comic books they steal from. They do that quite a bit, which, not surprising, I would think.
Are you a comic book guy?
I mean, not particularly, but enough to be familiar when they're referencing things. But like that, and then Star Trek and Star Wars are basically just documentaries.
Yes, everything. It's funny how the research they have done is they basically
Stargate's a big one.
Yeah, they get stoned and watch Stargate SG-1. They're like, I know all about the secret space program now.
Which was fine when you're going to call into like Art Bell and be like, you'll never believe it, Art.
Yeah.
But when you're like, I need to talk. I need to talk to a congressman. It's like, well, that's a little different now.
That's where this kind of jumped the shark is like, we need to go back to the stoned guys talking about Bigfoot instead of them petitioning Congress to like give them $1 billion to research some fucking horseshit.
Yeah, I don't need Lou Elizondo in front of the Senate.
No, he should go away. And I think his time is
his liver will take care of that.
Yes.
Did you guys watch the video he made about how he isn't a grifter?
Oh, that's always a good thing to have to do a video on.
Yes, it's the same way James Gilliland. Every time we watch him, he's repeating that he's not a pedophile or running a Russian bestiality ring. At a certain point, if you keep saying I'm not a grifter, I'm not stealing your money, I wouldn't have thought it before.
After a few dozen times, I started to go, well, hey, man, you seem real defensive about the whole bestiality thing.
Yeah, every single time I see you, you're talking about this, which kind of makes me think maybe there's something to it.
I never would have even accused you of it, but you keep bringing it up, and I'm like, okay, all right, stay away from the pound.
I get one or two if it really bothers you that people are accusing you of something for no reason. But yeah, when it's like every show, I've heard him do it at least a dozen times.
Yeah,
it's real specific.
He kind of tried to dodge the grifter allegations when he was on Rogan, because I remember when he showed up on Rogan.
Gillen was on Rogan?
Oh, no, not
Elizondo.
Elizondo.
Okay.
No, I wish Gillen was on fucking Rogan. He is in the form of Duncan Trussell, but Elizondo refused to promote his book when he was on. And I think he was trying to do that to kind of showcase that he's not all about the money. Although obviously all you got to do is Google his name and the fucking book will pop up. But he seems very sensitive to the concept of people thinking he's in it for the money.
Well, I'm pretty sure Lou Elizondo was like literally part of the CIA misinformation division.
Yeah, yes.
I think he's literally like a misinformation agent.
Was it David Grush? David Grush was like counterintelligence too, I think.
He might have been counterintelligence, but I'm pretty sure Lou Elizondo was quite literally like a CIA like his job at the CIA was spreading misinformation. Like I think that was his official
Richard
position.
Doty?
Damn, I want that job.
Like that was like his official position, and now people are like, "Nah, he's telling the truth now." I think this guy's on to something.
No, now he's serious when he has lots of financial gain.
Look at that soul. Look at that soul patch.
Now it's real.
Lying.
Yes, now it's real. When there's a financial motive, a life-changing financial motive, that I want that job. I want to be a misinformation guy. Just fucking making shit up.
Already think you are, so
it's true. I do. I got to talk to my handlers.
Well, apparently, what we are is the kiss of death.
Yeah, so we are the Reaper. Yeah. If we talk about you, you'll drop dead.
It's a running clock, buddy.
Yeah.
If you're black, it's a very short running clock.
I wonder if you guys have ever thought this too. I assume that you have. I get like when I thought you said James Gilliland was on Joe Rogan, and I got irritated for a second because I know he's had Billy Carson on.
Yeah.
And I want, how can these people, first of all, how can they get so famous? There are people like that, like Carson, that go on Rogan. But then beyond that, when you go back and listen to some of these older interviews, these people have like houses and nice jobs and cars. And every time I hear that, it pisses me off. These people that are just completely insane. Oh yeah, I've got, it's my second house, or
my vacation home.
How?
It doesn't. There could also be perhaps an element of it is the type of guy who's just going to become the UFO nut. That might just be the kind of guy who's willing to take insane risks. So maybe that's the kind of guy who starts, a pocket power washer business and becomes a trillionaire from Rumble ads. But that sometimes stupid people just luck into things, not through talent or ability, but they're right place, right time.
Yeah, sometimes
being stupid.
Yeah, sometimes just like by virtue of like sticking around, like James Gilliland just been around for so long that there used to not be that many of these guys who were good enough to do it professionally. It used to be more of an amateur hobby.
It was like the early NBA. There were 8 alien guys, and that was it. But now the league has expanded.
Now, since you brought James up again, I want to say that for legal reasons, he is not part of an international bestiality ring.
No, nor a pedophile, nor some combination thereof.
But if he does want to start one, he knows how to get. He knows how to get in touch.
We are looking for additional investments for the Russian bestiality ring we plan to start.
Did you guys know that I got kicked out of ECETI Ranch? I'm banned from there. Did I tell you that?
Did you go there and get banned, or?
Yeah, I went there with, I don't want to mention the people I went there with, but I noticed that it was kind of scammy because they had a Rife machine. You know what a Rife machine is by chance?
No.
Well, I think there was a real Rife machine. This guy named Rife, he invented this, like it cures cancer with frequencies or something. Like this was a real guy. But this thing that they had looked like something you picked up at the like a thrift store. It was like these 2 metal sticks that you hold. I don't even think it turned on. But they'd touch the women that held it. They would touch them and ask them if they could feel the energy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I know you might want to get one of those and go to a conference. You could probably.
I'm gonna go.
That's how you do it. I got to rub your ass until we figure this
I'll
out.
show up and I'm just going. I got a Rife machine.
Yeah,
come here, Toots.
Yeah,
do you feel the vibration?
Yes.
No, I'm curing the cancer in your pussy.
That's patented.
Yes, this is a special maneuver.
Hold on. This can require a little more.
Just in the middle of a conference room.
No, I'm doing a procedure.
I saw someone do something not too unlike that. I saw at a conference that was a contact in the desert one year. There was a woman laying on a table, and this guy it was probably just a piece of plastic with no batteries in it. He was waving this thing over this girl. And he said, okay, now I'm going to move the energy. I'm not shitting you. He said, I'm going to move the energy. It seems to be like centered on your breast. So I'm going to have to.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
How are they getting away with this shit?
It's just someone ties string to soup cans and then they can sexually assault women without fear of repercussion.
Oh, well,
women pay for it too.
I was going to say, in his defense, women are very stupid.
Because every time I see one of those, what's the Scientology device, an e-meter, that's what it looks like. It's just like 2 soup cans with strings coming out.
Well, crystal bitches do have a very unique predilection to absurd cures for things.
They like believing fanciful stuff, right? No matter. Yeah.
Well, predators do offer a cure in some way.
There's a lot of those types in this field too.
There are, yeah. Really quick before I forget my train of thought, I lose my train of thought with James Gilliland. The reason I got banned was because I had talked about that, but because the building I stayed in at the very top was his like massage room, crystal room. And I said that it's real suspicious. Like every time he comes out, he's got the robe on that's kind of open. He seems to have been relaxing, but he's the one giving the massages. And I just thought maybe it's suspicious. And so I got
James. Why do you have all this baby oil, man? Hey, why is Diddy keep calling?
Why is Diddy?
James Diddy.
I didn't know you were into hip hop, James.
He does kind of have. Now that I'm thinking about it, he's kind of got like a Hugh Hefner-ish feel to
He's
him.
got 70s Playboy vibes.
Yes, just kind of smoking weed, wearing a robe,
Which, like, he did probably assault people, but it was
doing
cool.
questionable massages.
It was cool back then. It was the 70s.
Yeah, things were different.
Yeah.
We were listening to Jefferson Starch.
Well, that's what we used to call rapists, was playboys.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, bachelors.
Bachelors. Yeah. No, he's a
It
playboy and a
wasn't,
bachelor.
it wasn't actually him doing the assault. It was the Palladians working through him.
Yes, he was just a marionette.
Well, I gotta channel your titties, okay? It's the only way.
Yes,
It's unreal. Like I've never been more serious. You can actually get away with that shit at some conference.
The aliens are. Hold on, they're telling me something. They're telling me. You got to show me your tits.
I guarantee the even better move is they're like, I don't even want to ask.
I don't
this.
even like titties.
I don't even. I don't
I'm
even
gay.
want to.
They're gross.
Yeah.
Look, me personally, I think they're disgusting, and I don't even want to look at them. But
But
It's
the
the only way.
aliens are telling me to diagnose you.
look, they say
aliens
they
said
said the fate of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The aliens
Just the A-tip.
just
Yeah,
that's where Lou Elizondo
Yeah.
worked. Just getting the A-tip.
Well, he's trying, I think.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's crazy that this field has turned into this. It's supposed to just
It's
be
always
silly
been this.
shit.
Well, ironically, Corey, he'll never be able to pull this off, but there is a great reality TV show in it.
Yeah.
If you followed a lot of these people around and portrayed them as the idiots and the lunatics that they are, instead of taking them seriously.
They're fantastic, like case studies in human behavior.
Yeah. If you did like the
Oh,
real
they are,
world with a bunch of UFO people, like that'd probably be pretty entertaining.
I can't wait for Corey to put out his his hater documentary
True
or whatever
crime.
it is. Yes, I'm looking forward to that so much because I gotta know what part we scored in that
Dude,
film.
if he was smart, he'd make us the stars because we did the best content on that.
I think
The sound clips you could pull from us
they'd
would
make us look terrible.
would be unreal, brother.
Just us threatening to rape people.
There's
Shit.
oh my god, he could make us look like absolute
I mean,
ghouls.
a couple episodes I listened to where you guys, old episodes, you
Yeah.
talking about David and Perry's got the. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yes,
that alone would be enough.
our drinking episodes, the when we were really partying, when we were recording, we were saying some wild shit, which, honestly, after the David thing happened, I kind of expected someone to go back through that shit and just do like the hit piece cut of just.
Well, the Times of India kind of did.
That's true. The Times of India did. There's one episode in particular right after David's divorce where we were both just fucked up and just
Yeah.
brutally mean.
We were being so mean, dude. We were being so
fucking
mean.
about David's divorce. And I know it's episode 198 because for so long I would still get messages. We recorded that episode 5 years ago. I'd still get messages about being a piece of shit because what we said on that. And then I'm looking at the Times of India and it's like hidden in plain sight on episode 198. I was like, oh my God, that is the worst possible. No, don't listen to that episode.
They did at least quote a good joke.
Yeah, it was something about
It was a Midas touch, except
yeah.
everything David touches turns to shit.
yes, and then I said something about how he's going to broadcast the divorce in cinematic quality.
I
or
think we
something
also
like
called
that.
him unlovable.
Yes, unlovable. It was just
Yeah.
brutal, and they put that out the day after he killed himself or something. It was right after.
Well, there's a reason we didn't say anything for a week or so after it
yeah,
happened,
we-
because I was like 50-50 we were going to end up in that note. I genuinely thought like we were, there's not a zero chance we're not named specifically in that note.
Yeah,
now I'm wondering why you didn't get contacted by the police.
That's what I'm saying. They're doing a bad job.
We absolutely expected to. The second we saw that, we're like, well, this is going to get bad.
Yes, we immediately we're hopping off social media. I'm not going to say, and then I accidentally broke the news, which I didn't intend to. I thought someone else would have said it.
Yeah, we kind of goofed on that one.
I brought more attention on us because the tweet I put, it has like 1.2 million views or something, and it was announcing that David had took his life, which then people found us through that tweet and then found our content.
Well, yeah, Reddit didn't love us. You'll never believe it.
No, they weren't big fans. Reddit wasn't a big fan. Twitter wasn't a big fan. Instagram wasn't a big fan.
Oh, we still kind of need a lot of people to go to Spotify and leave us a good review. We got review bombed pretty good.
Yeah, that was not the first time, won't be the last.
No. Look, the game is the game.
Did you guys see the speaking of reviews, did you see the reviews on Emery Smith's website? Some of the new reviews he has?
New ones?
Have you
For
looked
his
at the website,
videos
Mike?
or his potions?
His potions, the potions.
I bet they're really good, right? I bet they're like, this shit kicks ass. I'm rock hard right now.
He did make like a new website that we saw last week. We talked about it. He updated it.
Well, the funny thing about the website is I had done a show on Emery's website. Like we talked about every aspect of it. And the next day it went down. And then he's got the website up. So I don't know if he maybe came across that interview. It was coincidental, but I loved the reviews. Maybe you read them before. We looked at them on Monday. Find the quantum sex liquid here.
I think we did look at a couple of them, but I think they were like clearly planted reviews.
Yeah, they're planted reviews, but he's got two real ones now. So $69 for this sex liquid.
Look, it looks cool. I'll give him that. It looks like something that would do cool shit.
Yeah, that'll make your dick hard.
I guess these are from last year. I had just seen them. It made the blue chicken sex explosive.
But I don't like that one guy gave him 1 star. He said what was it? Blue alien chicken sex has never been the same. Thanks, Emery. That sounds like a 5-star review, not a 1-star. Very ungrateful.
Ungrateful customer. You got a hard dick.
Maybe he's an idiot. He thought 1 star was better.
That's entirely possible with these people. 5. No, it's number 1. It's a number 1.
Number 1 is better than 5.
Yeah, maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I thought that was a fake review. It might have been a real review, but his people are so retarded.
Well, I mean, if you're wondering how these people buy houses, it's because people buy this shit. People buy it in numbers that would probably concern if we found out.
People buy quantum meiosis sex liquid.
Yeah,
I honestly, unfortunately, I think the answer is an overwhelming yes.
I wish we were still in the weed business because we used to have we had to send all the weed in for testing consistently, and I want them to test that. I want to know what's actually in those fucking things because I guarantee those fail on heavy metals and probably some sort of poison or
he's
mold.
Probably doing them in his kitchen, dude.
Yeah,
it would be cheaper to do it. If I mean, like, what does that cost? A couple $100 to send it to a lab?
Yeah. It depends on what you're getting done, but like, gas chromatography, mass spec is like $250.
It would be cheaper. I mean, it would be a third of the cost to send it to the lab, as opposed to like what it costs to actually buy the product, because it's $700. Some of these products are $700-$800. It's crazy.
Wait. He may be pricing it like that so someone can't do what we're talking about. Because who the fuck's going to spend $700 to try and?
I kind of doubt he's that smart to be thinking it through that well.
The sex liquid's only $69, so that one's feasible. We could actually do that one.
He's 69.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
Him and Nino got a laugh out of that. Probably that's a Nino joke.
Nino would fucking love that.
I'm sure
dude.
That's high quality humor in there.
69.
They're caveman brains.
Right at
those woodcutter glasses, the shop glasses.
Yes, with the lights on the corner.
This is why I'm so concerned for Nino. I need to protect him from these people. He's too pure a soul, and he will get eaten alive.
If we can just get him to focus on like cryptids or something fun, we can save him.
I think you just got to cut out the people trying to sell shit.
That probably is the safest Occam's razor kind of thing.
I'm perfectly fine with you bringing people who are like retarded or crazy and saying crazy shit. If you just cut out the people who are trying to sell stuff, you'll probably get rid of most of like the really problematic folks.
Yes, anyone who like Ismail on his website was selling to listen to him to be in an event where he reads 1 chapter of his book. It was like $400 or $500.
Yeah. Now Nino's going to get some rough times ahead when QAnon doesn't pan out. That's going to be. I think he'll just be like, it actually happened. They just can't show us, because that's kind of where I think it'll end.
I think the people who are still with it, I think it is QAnon to the death at this point.
You think it'll just continue?
It's going to be 2056, and they're going to be like, Donald Trump Jr. is going to be here.
Donald Trump is still president.
Yes, due to maritime law.
Yeah.
If I may make a recommendation to you, two fine gentlemen, I recommend you look into a gentleman by the name of, I'll put him on the screen here, a gentleman by the name of David Sahid Farman. Are you aware of who that is?
I don't think so.
You guys are going to need to look into this guy. There's some shady stuff about him, I think. He's the one that runs all the biomed conferences and the 5D conferences. He has a proclivity to only take photographs, usually with mildly attractive women. He's very touchy-feely.
Yeah, well, you got to.
I have an image from one of his conferences here. I took this. This is one of the women that was
at the
him?
Are you sure that's a woman?
Yeah, she
I
would
don't know.
use her foot, as you can see, it's placed here on this guy above his groin. She would
Yeah.
rub his penis with her foot, and she was charging a lot of money for this.
Well, I would hope
Photograph-
so.
Yeah.
I mean, don't do it for free. That'd be stupid.
Just foot fetish content.
It's kind of like the ball busting shit we were seeing
Yeah.
the other day, except
Yeah.
I guess not as mean.
I mean, that is just she's just giving a man a foot job in
That
a conference room.
Openly in the
Yeah.
I think it was like a Holiday Inn or something, just openly right there in the room.
Look, that's not the worst thing to happen at a Holiday Inn.
No, I'm sure,
Corey
I'm
Good's
sure that
right
guy
there,
was
so-
very pleased. Yes, that guy was very pleased with the services rendered.
Corey Good was giving a talk in the luncheon area, in front
Yeah,
of
the
cereal.
hallway.
Yeah, in front of the yogurt. Yeah.
Yeah, he stands on an
pretty badass.
apple crate.
It's pretty badass, though. I mean, Corey Good's got some balls to do a video after his best friend dies, and it's so sad. I can't believe David died. By the way, I'm going to be. And
Yes,
he starts selling tickets.
he did I think it was about a minute and a half, maybe 2.5 minutes, where it was like, oh, I'm so sad, and he's crying, and then there's like a pause. The tears retract into his eyes, and then he starts pitching. It's like, this week you can come pay for tickets. I'm going to be at the Holiday.
Oh man, I wish more people could see this shit. But if it all went away and disappeared tomorrow, what would we do? We wouldn't have anything to talk about. So
Find someone new to call gay.
Oh.
There's always someone we can call gay.
Honestly, I at this point I tend to have more fun on our Saturday live streams just because I've gotten so tired of how stupid some of these people are that I'd rather just talk about retarded things.
Yeah, we get to make fun of people dying or murdered.
Yeah.
Murdering people.
We watch women kick men in the balls for pleasure. It's
Yeah,
a
that
lot.
was pretty fun.
We watched a white woman eat cow shit soup. There's all sorts of fun things to do.
this David guy, just so that you guys have an idea of who this person is, I talked to him one time because someone hooked me up with him to do the conference, and I thought I was going to speak at it. And he calls me, and it's real. I think he's Arab. He's real shady. He's got a real strong accent, and he said, you pay me $500, $500. I said, I speak. I'm not paying you. Pay me to speak. So anyway, he charges people hundreds of dollars to speak, and then you basically have to pay him a lot of money to be able to put a table up and to sell your stuff. So in other words, it's also a scam. Most of these conferences are scams.
It's pay to play. There's a lot of venues in LA for musicians. You have to pay them. They give you the tickets, and then you have to go sell those tickets to try and recoup.
Yeah, which I get it. It's a business. I get that. I understand that. Do you guys know who this woman is? Julia Kaman.
No, but I'm listening.
It looks like a bootleg Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, I thought that was AI, but I mean, she probably put a filter on it. But that is
Or
kind
five.
of like, yeah, or 5. But she just wrote some real crazy shit. Like, I lived in Tucson, and I was pretty close to Tombstone, so I went down there on occasion. The OK Corral, and the whole story. But this woman wrote some crazy shit on her bio. It says she's driven by an insatiable curiosity for deciphering ancient tablets and relics. Julia has dedicated herself to unraveling their mysteries. One such artifact is the Inanna tablet discovered by Wyatt Earp in Arizona. And I looked it up, and I thought, is that the same? I don't think there's another Wyatt Earp. And it is.
No.
It's the same Wyatt Earp. It's the lawman who discovered the Inanna tablet supposedly in Arizona. And I know from my job that tablet was discovered in Iraq. So these people just come up with the craziest shit.
They just need name recognition. So it's like you take someone famous from the past, Wyatt Earp. He was in Iraq for some reason on a reconnaissance mission.
Oh, no, he discovered it in Arizona. It was
that's the beauty is it's kind of like Black history. You can make it up. You can just fucking make shit up, and no one really cares to check. They're just like, dude, Wyatt Earp fucking discovered those tablets.
That's so cool.
That's sick, dude. Dude, that's hot.
It's basically Mad Lib history.
Yeah,
you just insert the name, the location, the thing they discovered.
I call it improv because that's what they're all doing.
Yeah.
That is beyond stupid. It's a gay original.
Yes.
We've only got a couple of minutes left here, unless you want to talk a few minutes after. Perry and Brandon, hidden in plain sight. Since you've been kicked off of YouTube, this is your first appearance back on the platform since you were kicked off. Let people know where they can find you.
You can find us now on Rumble. Just search Hidden in Plain Sight Radio. You can find us on Kick. I think it's also Hidden in Plain Sight Radio on Kick. Spotify, Hidden in Plain Sight, any podcast app, but the video is also on Spotify, at the Hidden Pod on Twitter, and then we're floating about the other, Instagram, Hidden in Plain Sight Radio. You're at Brandon Steele Hidden on Instagram. But yes, the primary platform has kind of become Rumble/Spotify for the time being.
And to clarify, you did not kill David Wilcock.
No, at least that's what our lawyer tells us to say.
I plead the fifth.
Yes.
Is he a Jewish lawyer?
Oh, of course. I would never.
You think I'm going to prison?
Yeah, that's how I know. I just look at the religion of my lawyer, and I know how long I'm going to spend in a cell.
Well, I just go to the local temple and I just knock on the door and I say, "Hey, I need a lawyer. I need a lawyer."
Yeah,
and
I just went to the deli.
Yeah, they come right out.
Yeah, I look for someone buying challah bread at the market. I'm like, "Sir, can you represent me?"
I go to the kosher deli and I say, "Is there a lawyer in here?" And they all put their hands up.
Even the guys who cut the pastrami are also lawyers.
I found that before we're out of time here. I found that that picture of Giorgio here. That statement he made. Show the evidence or shut up already. If you guys,
I'm sure he's real frustrated because if this finally came out, what a boon for him. Dude, they get 10 more seasons of Ancient Aliens out of that.
I guess maybe that's why he's kind of pulling up the ladder here, which is like he got all his money out of the aliens and now he's like, someone else has got to show proof. This is ridiculous.
Well, he also probably heard like they're going to do hearings. They're going to release. He's like, yes, I'm about to make so much money. And then they kept blue balling him. He's like, fuck you guys, dude. I was about to be so rich.
It could be like a Carrie Cassidy thing too with him. I mean, I've met him many times. He is a genuinely decent human being from my experience and talking to him and hanging out with him. So I don't think he's really a scum. I think he really genuinely believes it. He's really obvious. I think probably obvious. He's very clearly invested in it. He's very, very into it, believes it. But I think that maybe part of it might be a Carrie Cassidy situation. Maybe he's upset. He's been the alien guy, and now it's this woman in Congress. Now it's this Elizondo guy that looks like
these people are very concerned about legacy, and I think they believe if someone kind of comes in and steals their thunder, it'll undo the entirety of their oeuvre.
It's also just the ultimate finale to Ancient Aliens. It's the perfect ending. Yeah. That's what he's waiting for.
They expose the alien.
That's literally the ending.
Or maybe he's upset because they wouldn't be ancient anymore. They would be contemporary aliens, and ancient aliens
be a spin-off.
I think he could flip it either way, but it's the only way he can end the show without it being anticlimactic.
Yeah.
In the time we have left here, is there anything? Who are some people that you guys are looking into that I don't know about or the audience doesn't know about?
Sean and Marley.
Yes,
you need to go on YouTube and watch Sean and Marley. They're my comfort characters and the only people I still like. Them, Frankie McDonald, you should be checking him out.
Mostly anyone with Down syndrome who has a YouTube channel. We're big fans of them.
Anyone with an extra chromosome is the only people I trust anymore.
But I actually do have a list on my phone of just because we gotta find new people to talk about. For the time being, we're kind of bouncing around looking at what Michael Sal is getting up to. There's a guy
we've been covering JP a lot.
Yeah, JP, the guy who used to wear the Halo helmet.
Okay, so let me. That's a question that I have to ask you. First of all, you have a few extra minutes past the 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, so JP, who and Wano Savin, who are these people?
So JP is like a secret space program guy. He primarily works with Michael Salla. Michael Salla wrote, I think it's 3 books or so based on his story. He's kind of a Corey Goode-esque character where he has, these fantastic tall tales, and Michael believes it. But he used to not be a public figure, and anytime he would go speak in public, he'd wear a ski mask and he'd put sunglasses on.
It was cool.
Or he had a paintball helmet he used to wear. But then maybe a year ago, I guess he decided to
once he figured he could make money.
Yes, he kind of decided to come out of the closet, so to speak.
Plato's closet.
Yes, Plato's closet. He was watching the shadows work in there.
He was making fucking figures out of the Play-Doh.
Yes.
In the closet.
Yes, but
eating the Play-Doh.
Probably, yeah.
I think that's what happened to his brain. But his stories aren't quite as fantastical as Corey. Like one of the ones we watched the other week, it was basically like there's aliens that live in the pond behind his house.
Yeah, they were like showing up in the woods.
Yeah, they showed up and they like pointed at him, and he somehow stretched that story to 90 minutes.
But we covered him years ago, and he would like somehow found it because we'd been calling him Mexican, and he was like, "I'm not Mexican, I'm Puerto Rican."
Yeah, he found a video.
Yeah,
it had like maybe 200 views. It was some fucking nothing way long ago. But yes, that was what he sought out our content to correct his eyes. Like, I am not fucking Mexican.
Not anything we said about his claims. He just wanted us to know he was not Mexican.
Yes.
He was Puerto Rican.
Not us calling him a fucking idiot liar for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking Mexican.
I'm fucking not Mexican. Yeah, I draw the line there. You can say what you want.
This is in poor taste.
Yeah.
That video that I watched where he said that it was a plane and he said it was an alien spaceship or a UFO.
Yeah.
That goes back to what we were saying earlier. You know, you can't, everything behind a locked door is aliens. Everything in the sky is an alien spaceship now. It couldn't be a plane. It couldn't be that you live near an airport.
He even said the lighting on the craft was red and green.
It was red and green, yeah.
Which is the color of the airplane lights.
Yeah.
It's
no,
just,
that's alien UFO camouflage. They use the same lights to distract us.
And once again, you just got to remember everyone's really stupid.
well, they hide in plain sight, hidden in plain sight.
Exactly.
They just make themselves look like planes, and then no one knows it's the Pleiadians.
Oh, dude, they're in like a Spirit Airlines UFO.
Yeah,
I thought they shut down.
There's another guy who was on with Michael Sala.
There's black people fighting on the UFO, dude. They're like fucking, they're chipping out.
Yeah, it's Dustin Poirier is fighting the aliens. There's another guy I want to watch who was on Michael Sala's show, and he claims to be Master Chief from Halo.
That guy does have potential, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that guy, but we're definitely gonna get into him.
Halo was real.
Yes,
Halo,
he was him.
He's the Halo.
Like that Benjamin Fulford guy he interviewed, the president of karate.
Yeah, Chodowin Daikaku.
That guy kicked ass.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
I think he's dead. I assume he's dead.
Well, add another one to the count.
Yeah, add another one to the hidden in plain sight body count.
Yeah.
The problem is we really did used to. I think we used to lock a lot of people up that didn't need to be locked up for reasons that were very, very, very questionable. But there are some people that need to be locked up, and unfortunately, we've given them microphones.
Yeah, and an audience.
Oh well,
like
we got
significant audience.
There's a lot of people we got to take away their internet. They just shouldn't be online.
I've never seen a better argument for internet censorship than some of the stuff that these people do.
Yeah, we need to ration it.
It's the echo chamber effect again, where it used to be if you said this shit in public in 1995, everyone point and laugh at you. But now you can retreat into some dark, deep corner of the internet where not only do people agree with you, they believe something even fucking more insane.
I think it should be like a driver's license where like you need to pass a test to use the internet.
Yeah,
like we can't once AI really pops off, like we can't just be letting people use it willy-nilly. They're gonna fry their noggin.
I show you an AI video of Dracula transforming into a bat. If you can't figure out whether or not it's real, you're not allowed to use it.
They show you photos and you go, which one of these is fake? And one of these is like the president making out with Bigfoot. If you don't pick that one, like you can't use the internet. I'm sorry.
I like this idea. Yeah, even just 10 basic questions, just some AI pictures, AI videos.
Yeah, I don't even need it to be hard. It just needs to be, how retarded are you?
Yeah, you can't make it that difficult because most of the people taking this test are already borderline, if not retarded anyway. So
it would fail.
It's a little bit easy.
You need to be like vaguely literate and semi-connected to reality.
I'm kind of interested to see, what is it? Australia is the one that's banning the under 16s from using social media. I'm kind of interested to see how that plays out.
I guarantee the maddest people about that are Australian pedophiles.
Yeah, they can't.
How am I going to groom these kids now? You've ruined my entire gig, man.
Yeah, you've taken away my...
Crikey.
I can't rape the children.
Just going to like the city council in Australia, like, this is an injustice that needs to be solved. We're violating their rights. You're making it really difficult on me. My entire life is ruined.
With that accent, it kind of sounds like Michael Sala. I don't know. Is he Australian? Is he from Australia? Or
yes, yeah, I believe so. Although
sometimes they try to say New Zealand, but that's not a real country.
No, it's made up. He, I think, lives in Canada, though. I don't think he's in Australia.
I thought he lived in Hawaii, or maybe that's just.
Maybe no. I think you're right. That sounds
hollow.
Yeah, that sounds right to me. Of course, someone like him has somehow made enough money to live in a fucking house in Hawaii.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, his eyebrows made most of it, I think.
Yes, they work separately.
Oh,
They're all
we-
separate contractors.
We know who runs the show. Yeah.
Maybe what we should do is we should start. Stephen Cambion has done this before. You guys should start doing this too. You should start interviewing, like do fake interviews with people. Your channel will probably get bigger. You should do like a Project Camelot type of a thing. And they don't even have to be fake people. You could just find whack jobs on Reddit and start interviewing.
We've thought about it and we've talked about it. The problem is like we don't have the disposition to get through one of those.
Yeah, I feel like it would drive me mad. And
well, I would just start laughing at people. Like I don't have that good a poker face. I'd start fucking laughing at you and be like, what happened to you? Are you sure you weren't molested in the woods? I don't know, buddy.
I have toyed around with the idea of like starting a YouTube channel where I just do completely fake news and like broadcast all the alien shit, but I just make all of it up.
It's called Fox.
It would probably do very well. Well, Brandon, you might think that people that you would interview would react negatively to that, but I think some of them are so stupid that they're so invested in it. I'll give you an example. I interviewed some Bigfoot people one time. A couple of them back to back on a week of shows, like a Bigfoot week. And I interviewed this one guy. I might have said this to you before. He kept saying I was talking or interacting with Bigfoot, and I kept seeing him. I'd like wake up on the couch, I'd see Bigfoot. I'd wake up in my bed, I'd see Bigfoot. And I eventually said, all these stories, I said it nicely. I said, all these stories sound like you were asleep when you saw Bigfoot. That kind of sounds like you were dreaming. He said, no, man, it was really Bigfoot. Like he didn't react negatively to it. He just doubled down on it. Yeah. I think if you did ask questions, I think these people, I don't know if they'd get upset. I mean, the Carrie Cassidys are conscious of their stupidity, maybe. So maybe she's a bitch, but a lot of these people are so stupid they don't even realize it. Like, no, man, I really saw the UFO. It had red and green lights on it.
There's like a naivete, like an innocence of like a stupid, childlike innocence.
But but then it'd be like JP, and it'd be like, I'd bring it up, be like, okay, so this is what plane lights look like. Now you said red and green, correct? Like, see? And I'd be like, red and green. Do you see how this might be what you saw? And be like, oh, okay.
I think we all just need to pay some sort of improv actor to become a new insider for all of us. Well, and we can just start we're just going to do Cosmic Disclosure with the guy from UCB.
That could work too. I think the reality is we need to be exactly what we are, which is a fucking harbinger to these people, because we need to thin the herd.
We need better quality whack jobs. And that's what we're here to bring about.
Well, too many of these people have done this for too long without being told, like, hey, that's pretty fucking stupid.
Yeah, this is really dumb.
And someone has to do it, and I think that's what we've been called to do.
Yes, that's our calling.
I'm not here to build anyone up. I'm here to tear down and destroy the foundation that is built.
We're just a tornado. Yeah. We just come through. We can't even control the direction we go in. Sometimes we knock down an orphanage.
We can't even control our powers, dude. We killed the man we loved most.
Yes.
Our beloved is dead. We didn't even know we had that type of power.
You're like Jesus. You didn't come to make peace. You came to sword.
I came to call you gay.
We came not to call the righteous, but the sinners to repent. Yes.
Let me ask you a really important question. I don't know if anybody's
not
ever
guilty
asked this before. It's always good to start with that. Yeah, you gotta throw that out there first. What do you guys this is a personal question. Personally, you can both individually answer it. Personally, what do you believe about, say, cryptids, UFOs, aliens, conspiracies? Are you actually interested in this stuff? Do you think there's something, quote, real about some of it?
I think it's like interesting, and I think there's probably a decent chance aliens might be real, but I don't think I've ever actually seen a piece of evidence that really made me think like, oh shit, there's something to this. I think conceptually it's like really interesting. I think one of the best things the field does is there's a type of like abstract thinking that occurs within these fields. And that's really what's interesting to me, is how people kind of formulate these theories on the basis of very loose evidence. And I think it's kind of interesting for my own purposes to steal their thought patterns and kind of create my own heuristics based around them. But it's more so like in the same way I'm interested in serial killers and spree shooters, which is like something is fucking weird about these people. And I find that aspect of it more fascinating than I do the idea of the Plagiarans being real or something.
I believe pretty much all of it, to be completely honest with you. I read about serial killers and I'm like, that'd be kind of fun to do.
Yeah.
You know? I'd be like, I don't know. I'm killing hookers. That sounds pretty cool.
Aliens and serial
I
killing.
believe it's all real. I believe the universe is too big. There's 100% aliens. They probably have all the tech. I think they're just not going to show us for a while because why would we? We're stupid. Why would you give it to us?
Yeah.
I think a big one is I think we don't know our true history. I think we got an ancient civilization wiped out. They probably changed the records. I think if you could loot the Vatican library, you'd probably find the answers to a lot of this shit. I believe most of it. I'm the real deal, brother.
And that's why the show works.
Yeah.
It's like Mulder and Scully. You got to believe the skeptic.
I want to believe so bad, and I do. I just also know these people are stupid.
Yes, well, I do desperately want to believe, which is, I think, why I kind of indulge in listening to all this stuff. Because anytime someone's like, "Hey, man, I just went to the dark side of the moon," I want to hear that story.
Word.
Because what if they did?
Yeah.
What if this is going to finally be the guy where I listen to is like, holy shit, this is real. He really was fighting the aliens.
That's the whole premise of Ancient Aliens, right? Ancient alien theorists believe they say, what if this were true? Yeah, that's what it's all predicated on.
It's a fun kind of imagination game to play, but I certainly wouldn't stake my life on any of this stuff being real.
Sure.
Well, I think that always the distinction is real and will we get like proof or confirmation. Like those are two different things. They can absolutely be real if we're going to get evidence.
People have their own interpretation of what disclosure or what real even is, right? For some people, the fact that Congress is even talking about UFOs is disclosure, and for other people, they want the president to give a speech about it. You know,
well,
video or something.
Well, QAnon thinks fucking Valiant and Thor is going to come down. It's like actually the fact that they're even like, yeah, we got something. Like, well, that's pretty good.
It's interesting.
Yeah, that's enough to be like, I'm fucking listening. Can you give me a video or two?
You know, I've thought that too. Or it just kind of demonstrates how the mainstream has already just been polluted by this nonsense, and we're just going to it's going to carry over into everyday conversations now. It's not going to be something you have to go to Camelot to find. It's going to be in Fox, CNN every day.
No, it already kind of is.
It already is, yeah.
There is an aspect of like a modern mythology to all this, where I think we're sort of storytelling in like a grand fashion, like they used to do back in the day with the gods and goddesses. But now it's, the Pleiadians and the Mantids.
Look, in 20 years, AI will create a video so real, everyone will believe it, and it will be real whether or not it even happened.
That's true. I think we might enter a point where aliens are real without ever existing.
Well, listen,
yeah.
I think we've already reached that point. That Miami Mall alien story just will not die. People genuinely believe that's real no matter what you say, no matter what evidence you provide them. They believe it completely. They'll fight you over it.
Yeah, it's religion. They're protecting their gods.
Now, I think the aliens really should be talking to me more, but
yeah, I'd like a little more one-on-one time with some of these aliens.
That's what Laura Eisenhower said about Steven Spielberg. She's like, my grandfather was the president. He could have consulted me on this movie. She's
Steven didn't even call me.
Yeah, what a fucking idiot.
After all I've done for him, giving him those ideas for movies.
Yeah, I'm a crazy old woman.
Yeah.
Why didn't Steven Spielberg? Won't someone think about me?
Yeah, why Steven didn't even remember me?
Didn't even get a consultation or anything. Not even a credit in the movie.
Yeah,
very end of it. Well, there's a lot more we could probably talk about. I appreciate you guys coming on the show tonight, and I myself, I'll end on this. I'll say that I have always been interested in, let's say, UFOs as a general term. I've always been interested in the unknown, conspiracies, etc. A lot of what I do is based on the fact that I was, when I was really young, in my teenage years, I was duped by a lot of this mythology, and now I know it's all just mythology. And now I want the evidence if evidence for something. But I've seen things that I cannot explain. That doesn't mean they're aliens, of course. And it bothers me that I've seen things I can't explain. There's no scientific or even fringe explanation for it. Doesn't mean it's alien again, but I've seen them. I don't know what it is. And the way that I approach those kinds of experiences, which I've only had maybe 2-3 times in my life in regard to UFOs, the way that I approach that stuff is not to write a book about it and sell it, not to contact radio shows and go on coast to coast. It's not to tell people that I, contacted aliens. It's just, I don't know what it was, and I'll hold that with me, and it'll drive my intrigue into researching the unknown. That's pretty much where I find that to be, or at least I try to convince myself that that's kind of a rational way to approach these fringe subjects.
Well, we do have the proof, but you got to go to patreon.com/hidden in plain sight pod.
Yeah.
And sign up.
I can't release my proof. I'm going to
That's the only way. That's a Patreon exclusive.
Yes, there's a book where we will release all the proof.
Yeah. We have a disclosure tier. You got to sign up.
Yeah,
for it.
and then right when the book's about to come out, we say that the publishing house burned down. It got burned down by the FBI, so now we need more money to write a new book.
It was the darndest thing.
You got to rebuild.
We got to rebuild our lab.
New printers and everything like that. Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
Anyway, thank you guys for coming on the show tonight. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Anything else you want to let the listeners know? You already mentioned Rumble and all that, but if you want to say
just check us out, Rumble, any podcast app. Come listen to us. We got a good show.
Yeah.
One last question in the chat. Antonio said, "What does your shirt say?"
The Bongino Army.
The deputy director.
Yes, our original.
We work for him as well.
Yes, between CIA and Mossad, we also work for Dan Bongino.
The man of many races, as we call him.
What a sellout he is, isn't he?
Yeah.
He sucks ass, dude.
Yeah,
he fucking sucks.
I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna get the truth. Then he
just nothing.
We'll get into him next time. Don't even get me started.
The last time I saw one of his videos, he was basically parroting like a CIA talking point. He said, "You guys are going to have to look. I was in the the FBI. I know about all the cybersecurity. You're going to have to download these new applications and security features for your iPhone." It's just like a talking point from the FBI or the CIA.
Shadowbox.
Yeah, doing coke, shadowboxing.
Nino impression.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys have a good night. I'll talk to you later. Have a good night.
All right. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, brother.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning into Secret Teachings tonight in the chat room, wherever you're listening to the show. I really appreciate it. This is a Friday night special live video show. I hope that you will check out our entire archive. We've got a lot of shows, 16 years of shows, tstradio.info. That's tstradio.info. Have a great night. I will talk to you on the next broadcast. And please don't forget to subscribe to the ad-free show, buy me a coffee, etc. All of that on our website. And if you'd like to email me, rdgable@yahoo.com. Bye-bye.